where we have an accident on the left shoulder, so that's tightening up right through that area. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny skies, a high of 80. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 64. Weather's brought to you by Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more. For custom apparel that helps your team, business, or event stand out, choose Big Frog. Visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Your garage can be more than just a place to park your car. Hey, it's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe & Chewy. Whether it's your workshop, your project space, or where you store all the gear that comes with living an active Wisconsin lifestyle, Closets by Design can help make the most of it. Customary cabinetry, wall storage systems, and durable flooring solutions designed specifically for the way that you use the space. Right now, you can get 40% off, plus ask about special financing options. Schedule your free in-home design consultation today at closetsbydesign.com and tell them Jen sent you.
Your grill just got an upgrade, and it's right down the road.
Burn Pit BBQ is now available at Walmart.
That means no waiting, no guessing. Just grab it, fire up the grill, and get to work.
We're talking premium rubs, sauces, and seasonings made for real flavor and real results.
Every single time you cook.
Whether it's a quick weeknight dinner or a full weekend cookout with friends and family, Burn Pit BBQ helps you bring bold, consistent flavor to every bite.
Head to your local Walmart and find Burn Pit BBQ today, right in your neighborhood.
Because better BBQ should be easy to get and even easier to enjoy.
We are the home for all your Brewers coverage. 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Our very first guest in the history of Wilde Tausch, which will be, I'm sure, a long and distinguished history.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Aaron Rodgers, give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say daily 52 weeks a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
And then what happens?
No, then Tausch kind of bows out.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The Monday edition. The Tucker Kraft. Yes, he is under contract. Yes, he's in line to multiply his current salary by sevenfold. And he's still taking part in 11-on-11 fully padded work. Is that a good idea? Edition. I cannot wait to see what Gary Ellerson has to say about Keisean Nixon. Because, boy, do Packers fans have a lot to say about him. Edition. And I know it's Monday, but Evan Cohen's scheduled to make an appearance. Edition of Wilde and Tausch. On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, ESPNWisconsin.com, the ESPN app, your Alexa smart speaker, streaming live video, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and, of course, everything you need on the ESPN Wisconsin app, which is free, fully customizable, and can be found both in the Apple and Android app stores. I'm Jason Wilde in Green Bay. Jesse Nelson is in the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. And these days, the only time I see this guy is alongside Leroy Butler and Dennis Krause on the Spectrum News One roundtable. But today, it's an extra treat. I get him as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. It is Badgers and Packers legend, Gary Ellerson. Gary, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning, Jason. How are you?
I am great. I'm thrilled that you're here. As a former Packer and Badger, I can't wait to get to Jesse's viral take on the Badgers' upcoming matchup with Notre Dame. But before any of that, I do, the beauty of Spectrum cable is that when you haven't had your TV on for a while and you turn it on, the first channel that automatically comes on is not the last channel you were on. It's Spectrum News 1, and I see your smiling mug all the time, but I don't see you here lately. It's great to have you. How did Jesse twist your arm into doing this today?
Well, I don't think there was a arm twisting. I believe he asked, and I go, yeah, I think I can do that day. All right, let's get it done. I go, who's out, Jason or Mark? He goes, well, of course it's Mark.
I mean, it's August. Yeah, like it's going to be Tausch who's the one.
Oh, is that what it is? August? Okay.
I'm glad it's been a while since Gary's been able to fill in with us as a cousin sub of the day on this show. So I'm really looking forward to the next 3 hours. This is going to be a ton of fun. I'm glad that we all were able to make this work today.
As long as we're not playing the clip where Leroy says, I like the Tausch show. Is Wilde on it too? That was, as long as he avoids that line, I'll be happy. All right. I do want to get to Jesse's clip first because I want to get to Evan Cohen on time. And I also want to get into at least a little bit of this Keisean Nixon crowdsourcing of dislike for him. So let's do this right away because I'm Jesse. I can't tell if you like going viral or hate going viral.
Well, normally I would say I like attention. It just comes down to what kind of attention you're getting in that sense. So, I mean,
and what does this fall? What category does this fall under?
Well, I'll tell you in a minute. Okay, first of all, I'm stalling for a minute because I wasn't fully ready to do this right away. Okay, so I filled in last week on the Jump Around, ESPN Madison's Badgers dedicated digital show, streaming on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, the ESPN Wisconsin app. And so Jim Rutledge was out last week. He was, like Tausch, summer sabbatical season for him too. So I filled in for Jim Rutledge. And I'm hosting the show with Riley Yauk, who's, number one Badgers optimist, Riley Yauk. And Owen Dimple is the producer of the show. And as part of our conversation, as part of our rundown on that Thursday, we stumbled our way into what's your hot take for the Wisconsin football season. So it's kind of like, we do our bold-a-thon around here where you say maybe a more outlandish prediction than you're used to sharing. You're, going out on a limb, really, throwing something out there that's going to turn some heads. And so it's in the spirit of the segment. Like Riley says, Eugene Hilton could be a 1,000-yard receiver. Like, oh, wow, okay, that's kind of crazy, but sure, we can talk about it. And in the scope of the conversation, it goes there. So then it's my turn, and I said something that I do believe.
This does not seem controversial at all. I don't understand how this happened.
All right. So without further ado, I was asked for my hot take for the 2026 Wisconsin football season.
You were asked specifically for a hot take.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
And this clip that was then shared on our social media platforms, which has closing in on 100,000 views nationally now. I don't know
internationally.
I don't know if it properly reflects what I actually think is going to happen this season, but this is my bold prediction for the Badgers season. Here it is for those who have not seen it. I don't want to necessarily say that Wisconsin is going to beat Notre Dame on September 6th at Lambeau Field.
Oh, he's not saying, but is he saying?
All Notre Dame, including Marcus Freeman, all they're being asked about all offseason is being left out of the playoff last year and how much they're looking forward to November hosting Miami and South Bend because that's the team that got in instead of them and made it all the way to the championship and had a good chance against Indiana. That should have been Notre Dame. Notre Dame has new players coming in. They're not going to be fully acclimated. They're going to Lambeau Field, where Wisconsin pulled off an upset a decade ago against a top 5 ranked team in the country. If Wisconsin has these tricks up its sleeve, if Wisconsin looks as good as Riley and others are saying at practice, the best possible time to catch Notre Dame would be in week 1. national audience, one of the only games on Sunday night, a Labor Day weekend, standalone window. Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame. They can do it. They can do it.
You said they can beat Notre Dame, and you've gone viral for that?
Yeah, so, I said that, and I genuinely believe, if you're going to beat Notre Dame has been susceptible in September the last couple of years to bad losses. They lost to Miami in the opener last year, and that's what ended up keeping them out of the playoff. They lost to Northern Illinois in South Bend 2 years ago, one of the great upsets in college football history. If you're going to beat Notre Dame, it's starting the season, special game at Lambeau Field, nothing on tape for Wisconsin with this new-look offense with quarterback Colton Joseph, Sun Belt Conference Player of the Year, ran for 1,000 yards, threw for a bunch more last season. It's a versatile, different-looking offense than we're used to seeing. Luke Fickell might actually have QB1, knock on wood, playable for an entire game. That'd be nice. So if you're going to catch Notre Dame, this could be a chance to do it. Wisconsin can do it. Notre Dame fans caught this. The Notre Dame recruiting Twitter handle tweeted this clip. And
now, wait, it's not like their recruiting department. Someone follows their recruiting.
I don't know if it's some kind of
like a fan site that they're bringing in 4-star recruit Gary Ellerson for a visit kind of a thing.
The Twitter handle is Notre Dame Recruiting. I don't know if that's a legitimate, it's affiliated with the school, or if it's just some guy in his basement who runs this account. I don't know.
Okay.
But this Twitter account, which has a bunch of Notre Dame fans following it, have now seen this video, and I'm sitting, all I'm doing, Friday night, we get done with Wisconsin volleyball, exhibition match against Butler Friday evening. I go home, Becca's up north, I'm just going to sit on the couch, watch Brewers-Dodgers, eat a dish of ice cream, and have a wonderful time. And instead,
that ties into some of the responses.
My phone is blowing up with all these comments about, this stupid idiot in Madison thinks that Wisconsin's going to beat Notre Dame. And I'm seeing all these Notre Dame, you fool, don't you know Notre Dame has the most starters coming back of any team in college football? Oh, this guy's an idiot. Oh, because they won 10 years ago, they can win again this year. I'm seeing this, I don't even believe that they're going to win this game. And I'm getting all this heat and all this smoke from all these Notre Dame fans who are saying this guy's some dummy in Madison who thinks Wisconsin's going to beat Notre Dame. And now I'm going to be like bulletin board material in South Bend when they're getting ready to come to Lambeau in a couple of weeks. I don't even believe that's going to happen. I think Wisconsin's going to cover 20.5 or whatever the spread is at this point, but I don't think they're going to win the game. But here I am, because I had to share a bold prediction, unscripted, unprompted, on the jump around last week, filling in for Rutledge. Now I got 100,000 views that say, oh, Jesse Nelson thinks they're going to win. I don't know what to do about this.
You got.
And even worse, now the Wisconsin recruiting Twitter handle shared it. And now I got there's Badger Barstool. I don't know who Jesse Nelson is, but we need more people thinking like him. First of all, Badger Barstool Twitter account. I've been hosting ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day longer than your accounts existed, so I'm relevant, pal. Second,
just ask me.
I don't even believe that they're going to win the game. So don't start thinking like me, because this is just a hot take that I had to come up with off the cuff. A bold prediction for the season when I was filling in on a show I don't even host on a regular basis.
Gary, your thoughts?
Well, there it is. You stepped in it. Listen, I just want them to keep it close if they can. That's just where I'm at with it. I think Notre Dame is a really good football program. It's kind of puzzling, though. Didn't Marcus Freeman coach with Luke Fickell at Cincinnati at one point?
He did, yeah.
I think he was on that coaching staff, and then he leaves and goes to Notre Dame as a defensive coordinator. And I think some of those coaches that was on that staff in Cincinnati went with Marcus Freeman, and then you can see the split there where Notre Dame went one way, then Luke Fickell, I believe, maybe a year or two later, comes to Wisconsin and then decides to do something else with the offense, and it just didn't work. I guess I'm making a parallel to how really Marcus Freeman has really kind of built up that program at Notre Dame, and how really Luke Fickell now has come here and we bottomed out, which I don't know if you look at Wisconsin from within or from outside looking in, whether Luke Fickell really had the support that he need at the beginning to make Wisconsin a winner like Marcus Freeman had at Notre Dame.
Well, Jesse certainly thinks they're going to be a winner. Just ask him and follow his Twitter trail of comments. So, Jesse, do you get bothered when people call you names? Because there were some mean-spirited things said about you.
There were some mean things. Thankfully, no, I don't.
Yes, you do. You're lying.
Actually, so I went up north on Saturday morning. I went and joined Becca and her friend, and there's some new neighbors. Scott and Kelly moved in next door. We got new neighbors up north. So turns out they're fans of the show and their sons. So this is pretty great. So I'm sitting there on the pier on Saturday reading some of the replies from the Notre Dame fans, including this one dude who said they should film this podcast at a certain blue-roofed custard establishment because, the fat guy wearing size 7 Crocs thinks that. I'm like, first of all, I don't even own a pair of Crocs, and I'm a size 9.5. Thank you very much. So I'm reading some of the replies, and everyone was getting a good kick out of that.
Well, did they bless you at the end, though?
And the neighbors.
No.
They did not.
No?
No. And then even the Wisconsin fans are starting to get angry with me, and they're saying, "Well, let's keep it realistic. I don't know. Let's manage our expectation." I'm like, "Yeah, no kidding. It was a bold prediction that was prompted, but no one got that part of the clip, and so it's a bold prediction. Could they beat? Yeah, they can beat Notre Dame." Lot of replies, lot of attention in the last 72 hours that I did not know I was going to be in store for. That was
even though
you
like attention.
That was unexpected. That was a little much. It was a little much for me. Got to admit. Yeah.
Well, a lot of attention being paid to Keisean Nixon. We'll talk about his current situation and how he is handling that coming up. We've also got Evan Cohen coming up. With Tausch out today, we have our cousin sub of the day, the great Gary Ellerson, here on Wilde Tausch. More ahead, so stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
That's why I said the toughest part to me for the Packers is that the division is, I think, better than it's been.
The best 60 minutes of your day happens on the Homer Hour.
So the issue is, and I'm working on the T-shirt right now, this season is very simple.
This guy.
Got to win the damn division.
Weekday afternoons from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Mark Tauscher here, and 25 years later, we still climb so they are never forgotten. Join the Green Bay Metro Fire Department and Pierce Manufacturing for the 14th annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb, Saturday, September 12th at Lambeau Field. Climb at your own pace while carrying the name and photo of one of the 343 fallen firefighters. It's not about how fast you climb, it's about why you climb. All funds raised benefit the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Register or donate at piercemfg.com/climb. ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
Snap-on IndyCar weekend at the Milwaukee Mile. 2 races, 1 iconic track, twice the action. August 28th through the 30th. This is summer's fastest ticket, so get yours now and hold on tight.
Turn those hoop dreams into reality with Precision Sports, your one-stop shop in southeastern Wisconsin for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator basketball hoop systems, installation of new or old hoops, and completely customizable painted court lines. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason.
From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Pickleball is America's fastest growing sport, and those courts aren't going to build themselves. Good thing PLM Paving and Concrete has been building courts long before pickleball was cool. For 60 years, PLM has been Wisconsin's trusted paving partner. Did you know for the last 15 years they've been building tennis, basketball, and pickleball courts too? Now that expertise has an official name, America's Sports Construction. Thinking about adding or resurfacing a court or have any pavement maintenance needs? Don't wait. Wisconsin's construction season is running out. Visit plmpaving.com/sports.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
I love a good competition, especially when it brings together some of my favorite things. UW Credit Union, Wisconsin sports, and some friendly trash talk. Mark Tauscher here, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to the inaugural UW Credit Union Games. Watch Wisconsin student athletes from various sports go head-to-head until we crown the ultimate winner. Follow along on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel and all of our social media platforms. UW Credit Union, here for every you.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Is our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. I'm guessing that this is going to be something that might make the carbless talk and text line 844-770-3776. Carbless list is more light up like a proverbial Christmas tree. Now we've got Evan Cohen, who is hosting First Take tomorrow, or is on First Take tomorrow, or Get Up, or Jesse, what's he doing tomorrow?
He's been doing a lot of First
show?
Take lately, and that is the case again tomorrow. So this week and next week, we've moved Evan to Monday to accommodate his First Take schedule. Stephen A. 2.
Okay, I'll make sure that I DVR that. So he's going to join us, but I want to get into this Keisean Nixon situation because he spoke yesterday. There were several of us that were lingering around his locker, and he said, "I don't know why y'all are creeping. Let's get it over with." And look, we addressed a lot of things. I mean, I flat out asked him about the play at the goal line in the playoff game where he doesn't try to tackle DeAndre Swift at the goal line, and certainly the camera angle. And maybe the reality, because I never saw one from down the actual goal line, makes it look like he's turning down a tackle that he should have at least tried to make. I don't dispute that at all. Whether or not Swift was going to score anyway, I think he feels like that was going to be the case. But people are pissed about that play. And they remain pissed 8 months later. There was a play in the game in Pittsburgh where he and Keisean Oladapo can't make a tackle on the sideline. Again, poor optics. But Gary, I have to admit, I am taken aback. I understand not liking a player. I understand thinking that a guy's not any good, right? You're entitled to your opinion as a fan. But as I put it last night, the intensity of the vitriol that I see directed at him is more than I think I've ever seen. Like, I remember I was telling someone this morning. When I was a kid, Estes Hood, I don't know if you crossed over with him. I think his career ended before you started. But, like, he was the Packer that everybody complained. I remember my dad muttering about his coverage. Thank God you were a running back, because corners, man, you can have 50 good snaps, and if you have 3 bad ones, you suck. It's like playing tackle. But the level of anger directed toward him, and then he doesn't do himself any favors with some of the things he says. But I have not covered a player. I remember when Jarrett Bush was the nickel guy in 07, 08, before Tramon Williams took it over. And he had his struggles. He was a special teams guy that occasionally played on defense and probably should have. Also had an interception in the Super Bowl that helped them win a Super Bowl. But there was a lot of, but not to this level. And maybe it's intensified because of social media. But Gary, do you sense that? And do you feel anything close to that frustration yourself as an analyst and a Packer and a former Packer and a Packers fan when we talk about Keisean Nixon?
Well, there is a lot of vitriol surrounding him. Now, I saw that play on the goal line with Swift. And listen, he wasn't in a good football position to make a tackle. And he wasn't going to stop him from scoring a touchdown. That was going to happen. And it feels like a lot of the time, Keisean Nixon is not in a proper football position to make certain plays. And then I'm not saying that he take plays off, but it feels like when you watch him, that he's kind of disconnected sometimes, and there are big plays happening. And I think that's what a lot of people see. And most of the time, they're big plays, monumental plays. But then there's some plays that he make that are big plays. And I don't think he gets enough credit. Here's a young man that has, gone to the Pro Bowl twice at 2 different positions. And that's a rarity in the NFL. And I know a lot of people probably want him gone, but I just don't know how you replace him. And there's a little dust up right now with him. He's running with the 1s, the 2s, and 3s and all that. And maybe they're just trying to send a message. But for me, I just don't get it. He may not be the best cornerback in the league, but he is our cornerback. And I think Packer fans need to get behind him a little bit more.
He has, first of all, let's be clear on this, because I think this has gotten a little bit blown out of proportion in terms of how much time he's spent with the 2s. So he has been with the 1s almost the entire camp. There were 2 practices in which he spent 1 series with the 2s. Yesterday, when the 1s were out there, he was out there almost entirely, but there was a period or a series where they rotated him, St-Juste, and Cisse. So sometimes it was Nixon and Cisse, sometimes it was Nixon and St-Juste, and sometimes it was St-Juste and Cisse. I don't blame people for, because one of the first things he said in response to one of my questions was that he's being punished. I guess I'm being punished. That did not go over well with fans.
Well, because he shouldn't be running with the 2s. He shouldn't be running with the 2s. He's a Pro Bowl cornerback. They shouldn't, in my opinion. So he deserves to be running with the 1s no matter what. If they want to change out Cisse and Juice and those guys should be rotating through, not him.
Well,
Would you
understand.
do it to Alexander in his prime?
Well, and here's the real crux of the issue, and I want to get into this later after we talk to Evan. But one of the big things is, and Matt LaFleur said it again yesterday, about the importance of the corners tackling. Okay? I understand that. I understand that's something that Hafley needed. I understand that's something that Gannon relies on. But speaking of Jair, I always think about this, and Tausch and I have talked about it many, many times. They're playing the Steelers. He goes to tackle Najee Harris during the 2021 season, and he gets run over, just trucked, jacks up his shoulder, and let's be honest, he was never the same player again.
Yeah, that
right?
was it.
He was a small corner who was willing to stick his nose in there after they drafted him, and up until that hit, he was as physical for a little guy as you could find. And after that, he looked like he had no interest in tackling. And so when your system requires corners to tackle, you hear it all the time, crack and replace, right? The idea of having your guys do that also comes with a measure of risk. You want physical guys, and how much are you willing to trade? I'm not saying that Keisean is in Jaire's class as a cover guy, but when
Correct.
Jaire was at the top of his game, he was one of the best cover guys in football. And sometimes it might be okay if you let the guys that are great at covering cover, because when they suffer an injury like he did, that was it for him. He was never the same. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't see these guys like you do and like we do, Jason, up close. How big you think Keisean Nixon is?
We are eye to eye when I talk to him. He's in slightly better shape than me, just a little.
Obviously.
But he's not a big dude. Like he's not. Those guys are not. Carrington Valentine's another one. He's a little taller than me, but he is. There's not a lot of meat on the bone there.
Right. You would say Keisean is probably smaller than Jaire, frame-wise.
Right. Probably about the same. Yeah, I would say about the same.
Yeah, and I get what they're trying to do, but if you want to play that style of a defense, then the Packers need to be drafting bigger corners if that's what they want to do. If they want real physical play from their corners, I think then they need to draft towards what they want to do defensively. I just think, Keisean Nixon, Jaire until he got hurt, those guys, that's not what they do. They're not meant for that. They're only going to hit a big running back coming on a sweep for so long until they break down. Their career won't last very long.
And maybe that's why they signed St-Juste. Maybe that's why they draft Cisse. Domani Jackson, who's been coming back from a core muscle surgery, he's a bigger guy. So maybe that is the way they're trending. Look, bottom line, Keisean Nixon isn't going to be on this team next year. I will be surprised if he's not on the team this year and they trade him or release him or whatever, but they're not bringing him back. They're rebuilding that position. They started in this draft. They're going to do some more of it when they got a bunch of picks next year. But for now, this is what they have to work with, and we'll see. Maybe things change through the course of the season, and maybe his tackling improves, but again, and we'll get back into this and take your calls on him because I want to hear why. I want to understand why the intensity is so great of the dislike of him. I get being unhappy with him. I get not liking him running his mouth. CB1 doesn't return kicks. I personally wouldn't have said that if I was him. But again, the intensity is a little bit surprising to me. And we'll get into that a little bit later. We got to talk to Evan Cohen. He's coming up next after I tell you about Gruber offices. And I say this all the time. Talk about being injured. I hope you're never injured. I hope you never have to make the call to Gruber offices. But if you have been, there's only one call to make, and that is to Gruber. 414-276-6666, 414-276-6666, Gruber offices. One call, that's all. And you know how involved they are in our communities, of course, as well. If you're at the State Fair and you stop by the milk house, you might have seen David and the team over there. They were pouring milk on Thursday. So, again, always involved in our communities and, of course, a great partner of UW Athletics as well. More Wilde Tausch with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Get your final August plans in for Brewers-Rangers Action Friday, August 28th through Sunday the 30th. Starting with the Cole Swindell post-game concert at Country Music Night on Friday, featuring a belt buckle with a special ticket. Then it's Jackson Churio Mania. Get the Churio Bowl giveaway Saturday, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. And get it on the Final Kids Cheer Free Sunday before summer ends. Kids get a Churio Height poster on Sunday, courtesy of Joy. Get tickets for it all at Brewers.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen.
I understand how good Jordan Love can be, but we are at a place now where there is no quarterback, I think, that has to produce individual success more than him. I don't even know the team success is necessarily as vital. I feel like with Herbert, it's team success. For some reason, I feel like with Love, it's individual success. Here's what I mean by this. If Justin Herbert has a season where he has 40 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and they don't win a playoff game, we're going to say, well, I've seen that before. Like, I know what that looks like. If Jordan Love, last year he had 23 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, played 15 games, was banged up. Year before that, 15 games, 25-11. Year before that, 32-11. He's had an excellent start to his career. Nobody's doubting that. But the proclamations of smartest I've been around, best at this, top 10 quarterback, I think we need to see a season from Jordan Love where he just blows us away with how great he is.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000. Use code CLEAR to borrow up to $10,000.
Don't think twice.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geis today. For 70 years, Geis has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geisdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champaign of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champaign of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for MoMA. Battling a sore knee, a shoulder, elbow, hand, neck, back, or foot pain? MoMA can get you back in the game. MoMA is the new Midwest Orthopedic and Musculoskeletal Alliance, connecting trusted local providers like OIW, SMOC, and Innovative Pain, with expert care and innovative treatments provided in their offices. The Surgery Center, Ortho Laser, Smart Scan, or MOSH. With the best orthopedic care and recovery, MoMA can get you back to doing what you love. Call or walk in today. Visit MoMaMKE.com. That's MoMaMKE.com.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Join us now on the Yuengling Guest Hotline. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery, 197 years old. Now, finally in Wisconsin, DG Yuengling and Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Evan, I'm not sure. Am I supposed to introduce you as Unsportsmanlike's Evan Cohen, or apparently as First Takes Evan Cohen on Wilde and Tausch?
Definitely not that second one. I'm thrilled to have filled in a bunch over the last month. It's been amazing. I would not say that I could stake claim for first takes, Evan Cohen. Not to go third person, but to use your breakdown there. But I would say unsportsmanlike, Jason. Okay. I think it's fair, Jason. That's the fair one.
That's how I referred to you. I did put the parenthetical in there on first take. But since you're here and since you're on the signature opinion show on the worldwide leader in sports, Jesse would like you to help him through his incredibly hot, smoking, searing take that the Badgers can beat Notre Dame on Labor Day weekend that has gotten him some unwanted attention on social media.
Hi, Evan.
Well, this is going to be interesting because I saw this. I saw a bunch of people, and this will be good because Jason, UW grad, check. Gary, UW legend and grad, check. Me, UW grad, check. So we are all in favor of this take. What I'm even more in favor of are all of the social media posts saying, who is Jesse Nelson, but I like him? Because all the Badger people are all rooting for Jesse now to be right about this take. But go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, so you have this grand national platform, and you get to host First Take all the time, Stephen A. 2.0. And I was just like you filling in for Stephen A. on First Take, I was filling in for Jim Rutledge on the Jump Around, ESPN Madison's Badgers dedicated digital show last week. Very similar, stages and platforms. And we were prompted to share a bold prediction for the coming season. That was not on the rundown going into the show. So I thought, what do I want to say here? Riley predicted a 1,000-yard receiving season for Eugene Hilton Jr. But good for him. I hope it comes to fruition. Probably not, but it's a bold prediction. And so I said, Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame. We played it earlier. I don't want to play it again. Obviously, we've all seen it and heard it now. The Wisconsin fans are latching onto it. I don't know who this guy is, but he's grand. I've been hosting the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day for 10 years now. That's fine. And then I've got the Notre Dame fans who are even more involved in their responses to the clip. And they're saying, who's this idiot from Madison? And that's the nicest thing a lot of them are saying. They're not very nice, the Notre Dame fans.
Right. Okay.
And they're getting after this moron has no idea what he's talking about, even though they're the team that lost to Northern Illinois 2 years ago at home. They lost to Miami last year.
I said that about you too, but not about this take. Go ahead.
Right. So now, thanks. Appreciate that. So now I've got Wisconsin fans who are kind of rallying around something that I don't particularly believe because it was taken out of context a bit in the clip. And I've got Notre Dame fans who are angry at me for saying something that I don't really believe. And I don't know what the proper...
Any chance you could do a longer setup than this, Jesse? Is that possible? Any longer setup than this?
Thanks, Evan.
What? I think I'm done with the conversation. It's just a long... Jason Wilde's openings are shorter than this. My God. Gary Ellerson's runs for the Badgers and Packers are shorter than this. Jesse, get to the damn point.
From your national stage, how would you handle if this was a situation you were in or have been in before? I could use some help.
Yeah. So, a couple of things. First of all, is it the Bold-a-thon, the Take-a-thon? What's the Packers thing?
Yeah, the Bold-a-thon.
Yeah,
the
coming
Bold-a-thon.
up. Couple of weeks.
When is that? Because I have one ready to go that I think is the boldest take in the history of the Bold-a-thon that I actually think I can reason with, that is so damn good that I think it'll break the show.
It'll be the Wednesday after Labor Day. That's when we typically do it.
Okay. All right. So, that's a tease. Now, in terms of how to deal with this, do you believe what you said?
Not entirely, kind of.
Okay, well, there's your first problem. So,
yes, I do believe they can beat Notre Dame.
You can't change it now.
I do believe they can beat Notre Dame. That is, yes, I do believe that.
No. See, this is the problem. You're sensitive about this, understandably so, because you're not 100% in belief of what you're saying. Like, one of the things I can tell you, I don't want to go too behind the scenes because it's not my show, obviously, but I am a fill-in, right? Let me rephrase. I have filled in. The first take, people are like, oh, people make stuff up just to go against each other. That is not even remotely true. Seeing the inside out, it's just not. Everyone is asked a series of questions separately that you respond to, and then they see the responses. So, like, let's just say in this case, let's say Jesse put out the email to Jason and Gary and said, who wins Wisconsin, Notre Dame? And the two guys have opposite takes. They are more likely to then use that as a topic, but nobody's faking a take because no one knows what the other one is saying. So the reason I set it up that way is when I answer questions for First Take before the show, I'm always answering exactly how I feel, not worrying necessarily about how it's going to play on TV because I don't know what anyone else is saying. The problem you have here, and the reason you're sensitive from both parties, Jesse, is you don't actually believe what you're saying. That's the issue.
No. First of all, could you have had a longer setup for that answer? Thank you. Appreciate
that. That wasn't a setup. Wait a second.
It's an
Gary
actual
Ellerson,
answer.
was that a setup or an answer? There's a big difference between a setup. Gary, please be the determining vote.
Well, you're right. Jesse need to stand on something, and he's not. That's his problem.
That's right.
No,
Thank you.
Stand on it.
Fellas.
Commit.
Put your name on it.
Notre Dame has been susceptible to September upsets, especially in recent memory. They lost at home.
See, now
in
you're
South
trying to
Bend,
go around in
Illinois.
circles here.
So I'm
No.
saying yes. This is what I said in
Right,
the take.
with a former Badger running back coach, Thomas Hammock, I believe, as the head coach
Correct.
at the time in Northern Illinois.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame at Lambeau Field because the other thing I mentioned in the clip, 10 years ago, Wisconsin beat Leonard Fournette and fifth-ranked LSU as a heavy underdog at Lambeau Field. Let's run it back and do it all over again this year. If you're going to beat Notre Dame, this is the chance to do it. But I'm not. I never predicted they will do it. I'm saying the formula is there to do it. And the Notre Dame fans think that I'm picking they're going to lose.
Here's the problem. Either way, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Either way, you've unintentionally messed up. I'll tell you why. Because if you're doing a bold take and you're just saying technically a team can beat another team, you messed up because that's not a bold take. Now, because it was labeled a bold take, as Gary said, you've got to stand on whatever the take is or don't give it in the first place.
He's right again. This is why I don't have bold takes. You don't have to worry about this sort of thing. Have you ever had anyone say, I don't know who this Evan Cohen guy is, and then depending on...
All the time. Every single, just to bring on First Take, everybody that's commenting on all the First Take social media, it's like, who the hell is this guy? So, yeah, all the time. But there's a great clip that I love that I actually watched over and over and over again before I started 3 years ago at ESPN because I knew the level of quote-unquote fame and notoriety would be higher than it ever has been in my life, and that in order for me to be able to handle it, I have to mentally prepare myself for all of it. Tom Holland, who's an actor, played Spider-Man, and I don't know if he's the one who said it originally, but he said in the clip, he said, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me.
Ooh. Ooh. That's so good.
That's true.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Jason,
true.
I have your phone number, just to be clear.
I'm aware. I'm aware. That's great advice, though, Evan. I really like that. I don't know how many people that hate Keisean Nixon have his number, so maybe that's why he doesn't care about their opinions. But, Evan, in all your time, whether it's as a fan of the Heat...
Wait, hold on. Go there. Wait, go there for a second. So Gary can answer this. Gary, do you feel like most athletes in their prime, I don't mean now, like in their like playing days, I don't mean now, as a broadcaster in your case, but most athletes, as they're in the moment, are built like everyday people, or do they just naturally have thicker skins because they got to that place?
I think they naturally have thicker skin because you know that you're going to be criticized all the time, but you can't listen to the outside noise. You got to have enough confidence in yourself, no matter what anybody else say, to tune all that stuff out. I am the best at my position. And that's what he's got to stand on. And I think you see a lot of athletes are that way. You can't let the outside noise. And also, it's much different than when I played, right? Because now you got social media and all that stuff, and it's all over the place, and it can come at you from so many different ways that you've got to be able to tune that out. And you even got to have even more thicker skin than those guys used to back 20, 30 years ago.
How hard do you think it would be now for you? Like you if you had the social media, if you had the ability for people to complain about your Badgers team or your performance or the Packers teams that were struggling at times during that era, to put it lightly, how do you think you'd still have been able to handle it as well as you did? Because back then it was, if you weren't listening on the radio or some columnist wasn't taking a shot at you in the newspaper, you probably didn't know much about public opinion at all, right?
No, you didn't. I think a lot of guys these days, and I would say the teams themselves, have to try to insulate the players, give them some tools to work with and understand how to handle the outside noise. Mental health was not a big thing back when we played. We just dealt with whatever it was. But I think it's imperative that each team in the NFL give these guys tools and resources to handle some of the outside noise. Because not everybody, a lot of guys are sensitive too, you know what I mean? And not everybody handle criticism the same way. And you can't coach a guy the same way you coach another guy. Some guys you can get on really hard, and some guys you can't. It's up to the coach to try to figure out how to get the best out of these guys. And I think in Keisean Nixon's case, I think right now he's being coached up. I think Matt LaFleur, those guys are sending a message that this is what they want him to do. And I thought, Jason, when you guys talked to him, I thought he handled that interview pretty good.
Yeah, I did too. Evan, when you think about players, can you think of players during your time, either as a host or as a fan, where you were like, gosh, I can't get over how much this fan base is down on this guy? Like how, because that's the thing with me. I understand frustration with his performance. I understand criticizing his performance. It's a big boy league. But the level of vitriol that he gets is what I think is beyond what I would expect, even for someone who has not played at a supremely high level, but has played pretty good football at various times during his time with the Packers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in the moment right now thinking about this because we talked about this today on Unsportsmanlike. Like, I don't get how Jalen Hurts doesn't get universal praise from everyone about everything. Like, I literally don't know. Like, I don't think every Eagles fan loves him as a player. I don't think there's anything to not like in terms of, like, his representation of like, the QB1 for the Philadelphia Eagles. To me, he's a class act, stand-up guy. Like, I love Jalen Hurts. But I don't get the sense that everyone loves him. And that's one of those, like, God, imagine you had a quarterback who started, 5 years or whatever it is, been to the Super Bowl twice, had a winning record every single year, has the most unstoppable play in the history of the sport, and he's not universally loved by the fan base? Like, I don't get it.
And the social media team for his own team posts an interception of him on social media?
Exactly. Yeah, and we could sit there and say, like, oh, that was about the defensive back. Like, sure, but you very clearly showed the quarterback.
Yeah, there's no... Yeah, it was not the backup quarterback that nobody knows that was throwing that ball. Evan Cohen joining us from Unsportsmanlike. All right, Evan, give us a preview of your first take appearances, and maybe this will be another opportunity to coach Jesse up. What's something that you've got a very authentic hot take about right now? What's in the sporting realm?
This is the thing. When you say authentic, like, I'm not actually insulted. But it is insulting.
No. That was a shot at Jesse. That wasn't a shot at you.
I know. And
that was a shot at Jesse.
But no, I'm aware. I'm aware because that's kind of disappointing to hear how this is playing out. Because I would have thought Jesse, as a Badger supporter, would have said, I believe in this team. Everything feels different since Sean Eichhorst showed up as the AD, and he's been phenomenal at just totally rallying the troops in a way that has not been done since Coach Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
And Fickell has a much better approach this year than he's had the last 3 or 4 years, however long it's been. And that maybe Jesse believes in the quarterback, or maybe Jesse believes in something. And really, it was Jesse didn't prepare for a show, so just gave off a take that then went viral. That's kind of what's happening.
It is not. All of that stuff is true.
Whoa.
And Riley, I'm hosting the show with Riley. Riley's at practice every day, watching how they're going. Like, I watched the entire Big Ten Network, did an hour-long special. They made their trip to Madison. They were there. Everybody's saying it sounds like winning football is what Jake Butt, Big Ten Network analyst, said. Sounds like winning football. That got my juices excited. There's a lot of things that are positive about Wisconsin football, why they can beat Notre Dame. I'm not going to stand here and say that I think they're going to beat Notre Dame. I think they can beat Notre Dame. There's a blueprint to it. There's a difference between saying that and saying they will.
Let's hear how you phrase this differently. Okay. If the Dodgers and Brewers played in the NLCS, who's going to win?
The Dodgers.
The Dodgers. Okay, but the Brewers can beat them?
Absolutely.
Will they?
No.
Okay.
Now you're getting
if the Bucks.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to walk. If the Bucks played at Oklahoma City, whenever they play them, make up a date. December 15th, Milwaukee at Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Rivalry game.
Oklahoma City wins.
Can the Bucks win?
No. Have you seen that? It's gonna be bad.
Okay, this is interesting.
They got 2 national TV games, and they're both against the Heat. Every network said no thanks for 80 games this year.
Then why, based on how you answered that and how you answered the Brewers one, aren't you just simply saying the Badgers are going to beat Notre Dame? Because you laughed off the concept of the Milwaukee Bucks beating the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Uh-huh.
But you didn't laugh off the concept of the Badgers beating Notre Dame, so why not just say it if you believe it?
I believe Wisconsin is going to hang tough with Notre Dame on September 6th at Lambeau Field. And I think it's an amazing opportunity for Wisconsin football. National game, there's only one other game on at that time, and it's like Ole Miss and Louisville or something. It's not that good of a game. Wisconsin-Notre Dame's going to have all the eyeballs. It's at Lambeau.
I mean, that is a good game, by the way, if that is the other game. Trinidad Chambliss may win the Heisman this year, but not the point. So I think there should be a penalty here. I don't think you should ever be allowed back on the jump around.
Wow.
Oh, no, less work for me. Oh, no, that's terrible. Don't.
What a punishment.
You know what? Hold on. I take it back. I forgot who I'm dealing with. I think you now should be added to the jump around every day. Riley and Jim should have to add you. It's a 3-person team now for the rest of the calendar year because you faked a bold take.
Yeah, I think that's a great punishment. I love it. Evan, we know you got to get to L.A. Tausch isn't here to keep you till 10:01, so we will let you go now. This has been informational and entertaining. Appreciate your time. Thanks.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
Mm-hmm.
That was Jesse. How'd you think that went for you? It went better for Keisean Nixon than it went for you, I thought.
I think so.
I feel great about this hour.
I think so.
Might take the rest of the show off and let you and Gary roll on Nixon and Tucker Kraft, and let's sit the rest of this one out.
Whatnot.
Well, apparently you have extra shifts for the jump around to get ready for, so you might want to get ready for that. All right, I want to talk a little bit more about Keisean Nixon and set us up for calls to kick off the 10 o'clock hour. So if you have a piping hot opinion like the one that Jesse had about the Badgers being able to beat Notre Dame, maybe, on Keisean Nixon, get in line. 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I am happy to debate this with you. Like, if you're one of the folks that, a few folks that have told me to do things that I'm not comfortable doing to Keisean Nixon. I don't want to hear that. But I want to hear your reasoned argument. I'm happy to debate that with you. 844-770-3776. More Wilde Tausch with the great Gary Ellerson in as our cousin sub of the day. Stick around.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 18th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battled the Seattle Mariners.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness, third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in August 18th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee, or check your local listings to watch the game.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
Beautiful day for Brewers baseball. Brats in one hand, your Brewers checking card from Associated Bank is in the other. And with a tap, it's 20% off gear at the Brewers team store. An express entry so you can tailgate longer. And up to 50% off home game tickets. All that power, all for the crew. Only with Brewers checking from Associated Bank. Join the crew at AssociatedBank.com/Brewers. Member FDIC.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
It's National Sandwich Month, the perfect time to celebrate what Cousin Subs does best, great sandwiches. Since 1972, we've been making subs with fresh baked bread, sliced meats and cheeses, and ingredients prepared fresh when you order. Whether you're craving a classic favorite, something grilled to order, or a deli fresh creation, there's a Cousin Sub made for every taste. Celebrate National Sandwich Month with a sandwich made the way it should be. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Some companies build projects. At Professional Construction, Inc., we build relationships.
That means showing up early, taking pride in the details, and having each other's backs, on and off the job site.
We're looking for skilled carpenters who really care about their craft and want to be part of a team.
Not just another paycheck, but a place where the people you work with actually matter.
If you work hard, take pride in what you build, and want to join a tight-knit crew, then we'd love to meet you.
Apply today at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Trying to keep up with the 21st century can really get you down.
When you need a break, come to Kessler's.
We'll turn your day around.
We have good air conditioning.
And we love making new friends.
The coffee's better than average.
Because we want you to come back again.
We want to be your jeweler.
My father told you for 29 years that he wanted to be your jeweler.
He put that desire in everyone he hired.
And then he gave us the company.
He transformed our lives and gave us the most fun job on earth.
It's easy to sell jewelry when you sell it for less than it's worth.
Come and take a look at our engagement rings.
And of course, we have thousands of other things.
When you're having an overcast day, come to Kessler's.
We're going to turn your day around.
Free jewelry cleaning done by world-class professionals.
While you drink your good coffee in a room full of diamonds and gold.
Makes you feel better, no matter what you've been told.
One thing you definitely want to see before you're done
is our exclusive Kessler 81.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855-PELLA-WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Thanks as always to Evan Cohen. We wish him luck on First Take. I can't recommend enough, and maybe his first one out of the chutes should be that Wisconsin can beat Notre Dame on Labor Day weekend. If he wants to steal that one.
Yeah.
So the question I asked him, and he was talking about this with Jalen Hurts, which I thought was a really good example. Maybe I need to be a little more simplistic with why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
There it is.
Right? And maybe there's not. This is the thing, and you mentioned this, Gary, about
but people won't be honest. They won't be
now,
honest about it, though. They won't be honest about it.
So they'll give a different reason for why they hate him?
Fans need to look deep inside and understand why they really have hate for this guy. I don't think they're honest about it.
Why do you think they really have hate for this guy?
We're going to find out. That's why we open it up. I'm challenging them right now, our callers, when you call in, be honest about it. What's your dislike?
All right. So that's as simple as I can put it. And if you don't hate Keisean Nixon, I would like to hear from you too. But what I'm trying to figure out is it a significant, because you have to be careful with social media, right? Because you don't know how representative that is of the fan base as a whole. So maybe it's really like there's about what we figured out was about a third of the fan base really doesn't like Matt LaFleur based on various polls and anecdotal evidence. So, 67% of people are fine with Matt LaFleur as their head coach. Somewhere in that 67%, there's people that really like him. Or like his eyebrows, or whatever it is, right? But about a third of the fan base seems to think that Ed Policy should have fired. Okay, I don't know what the percentage is with Goody. I think he has, if you use like presidents, I think he has a better, a positive viewability or whatever that is, polling for him. But again, from the perspective of Keisean Nixon, it feels like more people hate him than like him. That is the feeling I have. And I just want to know why you hate him. That's all. Deep reasons, superficial reasons, whatever they may be. 844-770-3776. We will get to that at the start of the 10 o'clock hour. 844-770-3776. That is the Carb List Talk and text line. List is more. I can tell you one thing I don't hate, and that's Associated Bank. We've had a partnership with them since the show began. They have been great to us, and they will be great to you. They've got the best customer service in the industry. And while it is soon to be Packers season, and they've got some great things coming with Packers checking, and it's soon to be Badgers season, and they've got some great things coming with Badgers checking, they, of course, also have Brewers checking. And if you're headed to AmFam Field, you can get in more easily than everybody else because you can use the Associated Bank gate. You can save 20% off the Brewers team store. You can save 50% off your tickets. Plus, you can save both with your registration for the Brewers Baseball Academy and for the famous Racing Sausages 5K and 10K races. So go to AssociatedBank.com/Brewers to find out more. We'll kick off the 10 o'clock hour in 2 minutes, so stick around.
Don't go anywhere. Another hour of Wilde Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, is coming up next on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
When the game matters, where you play matters even more. At Wisconsin Country Club, you're not just golfing, you're stepping into a 97-year tradition of excellence. The only private course in Milwaukee designed for those who take their game and their connections seriously. No crowded tee times, no distractions, just pristine fairways, elite competition, and conversations that carry far beyond the 18th hole. This is where deals are discussed, where relationships are built, where you belong. Elevate your game at Wisconsin Country Club. Book your private tour today and mention Good Karma for exclusive promotions.
Enjoy Ozaukee County's premier golf destination, The Bog in Saukville. Featuring 18 championship holes designed by legendary golfer Arnold Palmer, The Bog offers a golf experience unlike any other for all skill levels. But The Bog is more than just golf. It's the perfect setting for corporate events, weddings, and group outings. Our team brings every detail to life. Play the finest greens of Wisconsin, then enjoy a bite to eat in our restaurant or out on our new patio bar overlooking the 18th green. It's time to golf, Wisconsin. It's time to enjoy The Bog.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella-certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Sports are changing. Faster, stronger, smarter. So should your beer. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, crisp and refreshing, no extra baggage, built for people who go hard. Still drinking the same old light beer? You're stuck. Flight is changing the game. Level up. Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. Wisconsin, are you keeping up? DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly. Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Three-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Time now for headlines as we predict what will happen on Sunday as the Packers take on the Vikings at Lambeau Field.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
I'm going to do something crazy.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
I'm going to say Keisean Cousins, Pack Bikes tie.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
He missed it again! And we'll end this crazy game in a tie. Oh, my goodness.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 10 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch begins now with Gary Ellerson in as our, let's try that again, in as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs we believe in better. All right, I want to play this. Now, I took this video. I'm not a big video guy in the locker room. I took one of Tucker Kraft. I took one of Nixon. It is not the one that, in response to my question, and let me explain how this kind of played out yesterday, okay? As I mentioned earlier, we're all kind of lingering near his locker. He basically says, bring it on. And I said, well, we're creeping around your locker because this isn't the easiest thing to talk about, right? Like, I'm not real excited to talk to a guy about how his job is in jeopardy or when a guy gets benched. Like, when I go talk to Aaron Banks, like, look, I get it. I understand your frustration. I've certainly been critical of that signing because of all the issues he's had. He told Tom Silverstein yesterday that it's tendonitis in his knee, which is the first time he's actually acknowledged what the issue is with his knee. But it's not like he's happy about his current lot in life. And I understand that's frustrating, and I get it. And it could cost him his job because Jagger Burton, if he plays well as a rookie, he's going to be the most expensive backup on the roster because Jagger Burton's going to be the starter at the rate we're going. And we don't know when he'll be able to do 11 on 11 work, much less play in the opener. So Aaron Banks is frustrated. Understandable, right? These are actual people. They are not robots. Keisean Nixon, on the other hand, this is a subject that there is some vitriol out there, right? So when I come up to him and he asks why, I said, look, this is not the easiest thing to talk about. And he says, well, what's not the easiest thing to talk about? Well, Matt's been pretty clear that you're competing for your starting job. So how do you feel about that? And that's when he says, I guess I'm being punished right now. So that is not the video that I have. I was the one who started the interview with him. It's a little hard to get your recording and your video and everything else going. So this is the clip that I did video. This is not a biased thing. This is what I was able to get for the show. Here is Keisean Nixon answering another reporter's question on the other side about how he feels about the competition that he is now facing for his job.
No, I don't view myself as a competition. I'm here to compete for myself. What they do and what they choose to do, that's out of my control. I just don't control what I can control. I came from the bottom, so I'm here. Year 8. Since I've been here, I ain't been off the field. Anything they've asked me to do, I played at a high level. Whether it was getting accolades or anything, however it came with, I've showed up. So I'll always show up.
So, as he points out, and he does this multiple times during the conversation, this is a guy that barely played in Oakland / Las Vegas. Went from being a guy that was barely playing for the Packers at first to being a 2-time first-team All-Pro return guy. Then he's a nickel guy. Then he's an outside corner. Then he's the number 1 outside corner, right? So he has come from the bottom up. He's also, Gary, not wrong about his playing time. Last season, he played 1,014 snaps. That's 91% of the defensive snaps. The year before that, he played 1,020. That was 94% of the defensive snaps. Again, if you're not happy with some of those snaps, I don't blame you. There have been plays that he should be criticized for. There are times where I understand people question his effort. The guy's been durable, and he shows up. Whatever that's worth to you, you decide.
Because weren't we upset for a while that we did have a cornerback that we could never get on the field? And we never knew when he was going to practice. We never knew if he was going to finish a game. I mean, we did this for about 2-3 years with a cornerback. And now you got a guy who's there over 90% of the time. And what are we complaining about? I want the guy that wants to be there and that's going to be there every single time, every single practice, every single game. I think it's tough to coach a guy when you don't know if he's going to finish a game or not, if you don't know what's wrong with him. This guy's been available for you.
When you assess, and then we'll get to texts and calls, when you assess how he's played, what is he like? You know ball way better than I do. You played it at the highest level. What do you see when you see him play?
I think people want more from him, and he tends to wane a little bit. There's some lapses a little bit where you think there are plays that he should make that he doesn't make, and then he makes a play and you go like, wow, and you want to see that all the time. But that just may not be who he is. And then there's sometimes, right, when you do an interview with him, kind of sets himself up. But I would venture to say that the interview that there's no tougher interview to do than what you just did with this young man yesterday, and I thought he handled it well. And because he had every right. If I'm in that position, I understand that the Packers are probably trying to send a message. Maybe they're trying to motivate him. Maybe they're trying to tell him, that we may not redo your contract. This may be your last year. All that's in there. But I hate those kind of games. And I'm sure that he's talked to Coach LaFleur, and they told him where he's at. And if that's the case, then he can go out and be the best version of himself and knowing exactly what's going on. So it feels like he knows that maybe his job is on the line, or maybe he just needs to produce better. Maybe those lapses that I'm talking about shouldn't be happening, because it does happen, not often, but sometimes where you feel like the dude is in a position to make the play, but it just doesn't happen.
That is a very even-handed response. I am curious now. I'm just going to ask the question simply. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon? 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. I will also share, I know Jen in the YouTube comments and a few others have read the story on channel3000.com. Fair and balanced. I tried to just get everything he said into that story. It's way longer than it normally would be.
It's a great story.
Because I wanted people to read as much as they could. The Packers did not post that video of that interview on their website. At least they hadn't as of yesterday. And I know there were folks that wanted to see it from start to finish. This is the best I can do for you. 844-770-3776 on Keisean Nixon. We will get that conversation going next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance. Brew Crew Tuesdays are back on August 18th.
Churio sends it deep to left, and there she goes.
Catch the Brewers on local TV as they battle the Seattle Mariners.
And Yelich launches one deep right center field. Forget about it. Oh, my goodness. Third deck.
This edition of Brew Crew Tuesdays is presented by Delta Dental of Wisconsin. Tune in August 18th at 6:40 on Fox 6 in Milwaukee or check your local listings to watch the game.
ESPN Wisconsin's Wilde Tausch for Outdoor Living Unlimited. Well, my wife and I chose Outdoor Living Unlimited to build our outdoor project. And when we met with Aaron and Eric Brown, owners and brothers of Outdoor Living Unlimited, we felt like they were the right guys to work with. We share the same hardworking values, and their showroom is a must-see at 665 Larry Court in Waukesha. If you're looking for a new deck, outdoor kitchen, screen room, and more, Outdoor Living Unlimited is a must. Start with OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com and end with an amazing outdoor space.
Get your final August plans in for Brewers-Rangers Action Friday, August 28th through Sunday the 30th. Starting with the Cole Swindell post-game concert at Country Music Night on Friday, featuring a belt buckle with a special ticket. Then, it's Jackson Churio Mania. Get the Churio Bowl giveaway Saturday, courtesy of 620 WTMJ. And get it on the Final Kids Cheer Free Sunday before summer ends. Kids get a Churio Height poster on Sunday, courtesy of Joy. Get tickets for it all at Brewers.com.
Homer here with a message about Three Pillars Senior Living Communities, located on a serene setting along the Bark River on 300 gorgeous acres. Three Pillars Senior Living Communities is a top-ranked full continuum community: active adult, independent living, assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, and rehab. Three Pillars, the hands-down choice for you or your loved one. Been there. Know people who live there. They love it. You gotta go to Dousman and see it in person. Get all the info on Three Pillars at threepillars.org.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's favorite vodka for a reason. From the first legal distillery in Texas, Tito's is 6 times distilled till it's just right. And naturally gluten-free, making it a high-quality spirit that mixes with just about anything. From the smoothest martinis to the best Bloody Marys. Tito's is known for giving back, teaming up with nonprofits to serve its communities and do good for dogs. Make your next cocktail with Tito's. Distilled and bottled by 5th Generation Inc., Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume. Savor responsibly.
Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Hi, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Most contractors cut corners and disappear when there's a problem. Not us. Since 1997, we've completed over 60,000 projects, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and were named 2025 Roofing Magazine Contractor of the Year. We set the standard for exterior remodeling, trusted by homeowners, proven every single day. We're excited to show you why choosing Infinity means peace of mind. Visit infinityexteriors.com to see why your neighbors trust Infinity.
This is Wilde and Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Jesse, I think he gave me really good advice. I still hate framing a question as, why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
It's a little mean.
Tausch and I always say, we don't like the word hate. We agree on that. That guy, I didn't like the way that guy was mean to you about the Culver's joke. And
There's a lot of Notre Dame fans who were mean to me over the weekend. So, this is not even in the top 10 of the meanest things I've heard in the last 48 hours.
Well, you're to the point.
844-770-37. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and text line. Lists is more. Let's start with Neil on the north side. Neil, why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
What's up, man? Hey, look, I don't hate Keisean Nixon. Yeah, this is vintage Midwestern up north stuff, man. That y'all got going on with Keisean Nixon. We went through this a couple years ago with number 23. I know y'all remember number 23. I ain't gonna say his name. Guys calling in, even you guys on the station. We just want a guy who's going to play, who's going to be on the field, who's going to get. Now you got a guy on the field. Now it ain't enough. Y'all had the guy playing 90 snaps, 1,000 snaps. I'm pretty sure he gonna have some reps that ain't too desirable. Y'all just like you guys. You guys on the radio every day. Y'all say some things that ain't valid. It's inevitable. He's playing 90% of the snaps. He playing. So look, this just vintage Midwest, Northwest, up north stuff, man. Y'all, enough ain't never enough. Y'all, we gonna always find a problem with something, man. The guy, he giving you what he got. He on the field. He played all 17, 18 games last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he's never missed a game since he came to Green Bay. Never missed a game.
Oh, but you see what I'm saying? But now he a problem. Come on, man. He gonna have a couple snaps that we not gonna like. You know what I'm saying? But it happened. He played 1,000 snaps.
All right, Neil. Let me ask you a follow-up question, okay? Because I now both you and Gary, I think I'm picking up with what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I would ask you this, and I want you to be honest about this, because this is my thing, and I've been. There's two things that really bother me about this. One is, if you're mad that Keisean Nixon, I've said this a million times, if you're mad that Keisean Nixon is the Packers' #1 corner, don't be mad at Keisean Nixon, be mad at Goody. And he clearly realizes that he needs to change the makeup. That's why he drafted 2 corners. That's why he signed St-Juste, but he was wrong on Nate Hobbs. I don't know what he was on Eric Stokes, because Eric Stokes goes to Vegas and plays at a level that he never played at in Green Bay, right? So
that's number 21.
Yes. So one is that if you're mad that he's the #1 corner, it's not his fault. Secondly, though, he is, and this is the one that really bothers me, and I think there's a little bit of what you're talking about here. He's brash. He says things that I personally would not say. But I thought that's the position he plays. Right? Like, you want guys that are so confident that they say that kind of stuff, and yet in his case, it pisses people off. And that's the part I don't get.
Well, you say them DBs, they got to kind of have an edge. You know what I mean? They kind of like, they got to play. Oh yeah. So like, I ain't got a problem with them. Not like you said. Do you want more talent out there on the edge? Definitely. So now, if you want to pay, he is #1 corner. He probably ain't good enough to be your #1 corner.
No.
But the guy done showed up. You know what I'm saying? The guy done showed. He definitely done showed up, man. He done from every level. Ever since you seen him, he done showed up. So like, man, but that got to count for something.
It should. I totally agree.
You know what I'm saying? It got to. Now I think he done got caught in a numbers game. I don't think he'll be back next year. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And that's just the way NFL football goes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He done gave you his service. You know what I'm saying? He done gave you his service. But I don't think he'll be back next year because it's a numbers crunch now. Yeah.
Neil, outstanding call about the Midwest up north.
Was he talking about Krivitz, or was he talking about Krivitz? Where is he talking about?
I don't.
He's talking about Hayward, or is he, where is he?
So
is
there
he
is
talking about
there's
Three
some
Lakes,
controversy on what Krivitz
Minocqua?
constitutes. Yeah.
Where's he talking?
Manitowish Waters is, I think, what
Manitowish Waters. Yeah. Up north, Krivitz.
There you go. It is. Up north, Krivitz.
Very clearly up north. Yeah.
Clearly.
There it is.
On the text line, on the Carbless Talk and text line, on the text portion, whenever it seems Keisean does have one positive play, it seems to get overshadowed by 4 to 5 negative plays or penalties. Just shut up and play ball, man. Let your play speak for itself. Well, again, not everyone hands the football to the official like Barry Sanders. That's just not. And by the way, they very well could have gone 0-3 against the Bears if he doesn't pick off that pass in the end zone to seal the win at Lambeau.
I don't think people remember that anymore. I think they remember the last game.
I never hear about that play.
No, because they remember the last game. But in that last game against Chicago, Jason, there were a lot of mistakes made in that last game against Chicago, and not all of them were on Keisean Nixon.
Again, I agree with that as well. I think here's the other thing about Keisean Nixon, and I see we also have a comment in the YouTube comments from, hold on one second, from Martin. I hate his attitude towards the team. It's a me first, team second. Kraft is doing everything he can to play. Nixon's effort sucks, and he acts like he doesn't want to be there. All right, first of all, if you look at the way he carries himself, his teammates love him. Like, I understand that you might not as a fan, but Xavier McKinney, Evan Williams, Javon Bullard, all those guys love him, okay? And he loves them. So, again, I don't disagree. I don't agree with that premise. The other part of this, this idea of a lack of accountability, I know people have forgotten this because, again, there's the news cycle moves quickly. But Keisean talked early in camp, and we talked to him about his contract, and he wouldn't discuss it. And in that time that we talked to him, he did, if you want him to say more things where he admits to his performance not being good enough, in there he said, just going over the film and watching the mistakes I made and just some of the dumb penalties that I gave up. Mm-hmm. I mean, that sounds like accountability to me. Now, again,
where's that at?
That's what he said on, I have my story from Channel 3000 here. That was on July 29th. He said that.
And he admitted that.
He did. Dumb penalties. That was his phrase. Dumb penalties that I gave up. But again, later in that same sentence, but I still feel like I had a really strong year. But I'm definitely ready to prove myself again. So again.
But you gotta have both. Right, you gotta have both, Jason. Come on. You gotta have both. But I'm still good.
we will. Dumb penalties. He said it right there. His words, not mine. We will get to some more of your thoughts on Keisean Nixon. 844-770-3776. 844-770-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Less is more. After I tell you, and we're going to be at the Potawatomi Casino Hotel and the Potawatomi Sportsbook for our upcoming fantasy football draft on August 27th. But look, if you're looking to get away, maybe Keisean needs to get away. Well, getaway is waiting for him in Milwaukee at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Start with the stay. The biggest hotel rooms in Milwaukee, nearly 500 beautifully designed rooms and luxury suites, and you're just steps away from everything that's happening inside. And if you're hungry, you've got so many options, from the Dream Dance Steakhouse to the Marketplace to Rock and Brews to the Canal Street Cafe, Ruyi Asian Kitchen, the Cream City Coffee Company. There are food and drink specials happening all the time. And if you're planning a wedding, a birthday, or an anniversary, their event spaces are built to make it unforgettable. Sophisticated relaxation, incredible flavor, and a full night out all in one place. Potawatomi Casino Hotel. We'll continue our Keisean Nixon conversation next with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Snap-on IndyCar weekend at the Milwaukee Mile isn't just another race. It's twice the action. 2 races, 1 legendary track. Bring the crew, bring the family, or just bring your need for speed. Because this isn't just racing, it's a full-throttle summer event. This is the Milwaukee Mile doing what it does best. Snap-on IndyCar weekend, August 28th through the 30th. Grab your tickets now and hold on tight.
No matter what business you're in, as the #1 SBA lender in Wisconsin, Summit Credit Union helps your vision take shape with loan programs, great rates, and strategic solutions.
Awarded the #1 SBA lender by the Small Business Administration of Wisconsin in 2025.
Summer is when homebuyers come out in full force.
Which means standing out matters. The right pricing, preparation, and marketing strategy can make all of the difference.
I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams.
And I'm Bailey Eichner. Our white glove service includes expert communication, local knowledge, and luxury level service at every price point.
Because every home and every client deserves to be treated with care.
Get started today by searching online Tony Wendorf.
Tony Wendorf & Associates, driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Screaming Sicilian, more is amore. Amore, pepperoni, amore, mozzarella, amore. Screaming Sicilian, screaming Sicilian.
Screaming Sicilian frozen pizza. More toppings, more flavor. More is amore.
Every tailgate has one. One person who brings the grill. One person with the long games. One who's convinced this is the year. But everyone's favorite, the one who shows up with the carbless. Handcrafted premium cocktails with bold flavors, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and gluten-free. No mixers, no mess. Just crack one open and enjoy. This football season, make Carbless the MVP of your cooler. Find your bliss at drinkcarbless.com.
Just doing some roofing on another lovely Wisconsin day. No gimmicks, nope. No shortcuts, nope. It's just roofing done the old-fashioned way. You betcha. Do you need shingles? Let's mingle. For a Wisconsin tradition never dwindles. No. So raise a glass, shake a hand for this old-fashioned brand. Whoop, that's old-fashioned roofing.
What life events have you experienced over the past couple of years? Well, maybe one is coming up. The sale of a company, death, divorce, a health crisis, or helping to pay for college or a wedding. Well, Annex Wealth Management has assisted clients with life events, but planning for them can make all the difference. Knowing what you own, why you own it, and how much you're paying for it is a big part of smart financial planning. Annex has an entire in-house team that works together so you can make informed decisions when life events come up. Click Get Started at annexwealth.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Gary, before we get back to Keisean Nixon, you as a veteran parent, kind of a both important and concerning moment upstairs just now. Sydney is 15, Maddie is 16, and they just left to go get their learner's permits to drive.
Oh my goodness!
I've known this was coming for 16 years. Not ready. So,
but they are.
Okay. I don't know if they're ready. They're ready to get the permit. Then we'll start the process of actually teaching them how to drive. Yeah, they're very excited. I am.
They did the behind the wheel. So is behind the wheel coming up? Is that what's coming up?
Yeah, they've got their. I think they're going to go sign up for their first lesson with their school counselor, who also is a 30-year veteran of driver's ed teaching. So they're in good hands. But I'm be lying if I said I wasn't nervous. All right, let's get back to your calls. 844.
You're going to buy them both cars or one car to share? Or are they not going to get a car? How's that going to work? Yeah.
It's a great question. I'm not going to lie to you, Jesse. Haven't thought that far down the road.
Well, you better start thinking about it.
Not that far down the road anymore.
Because you're not going to want them driving your car, Jason.
I don't want them driving at all. So that's part of the problem.
They can't drive if they don't have a car.
It's true. I'm playing 4D chess. That's exactly what I'm doing. All right, let's get to your calls and your texts, because my problems with children learning how to drive, it's not your problem. Let's go to Levi and Stevens Point first. Levi, thanks for holding on, buddy. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
Good morning, guys. I'm just so laughing about what your daughters are doing, Jason. I don't blame you, man. I've been driving for 2.5 years. Yeah. I'm sure it'll be fine, but let's just hope they don't get a speeding ticket on their first after they get a license. Don't want to see that.
If they drive like Paula, they might.
Oh, snap.
Thank you very much.
I was going to say also that Neil's call was awesome, by the way, last segment. But anyway, but Keisean, I've been thinking about this since I was waiting to be called on here. I'm thinking he was kind of dealing with cancer just a little bit. Almost, I don't know if I would call him like the Terrell Owens-like player who would be cancerous to the team. Like what Terrell did back in Philadelphia back in the early 2000s with him and Don McNabb with all that shenanigans he was doing in Philly. I don't know if you guys would agree with me with that take or not. I was just thinking about this. Feels like a Terrell Owens thing to me, in my opinion.
You know what, Levi? Because Terrell Owens is a Pro Football Hall of Famer now. Let's make sure we're clear on that. But I'm glad you bring him up because, and look, I'm not putting Keisean in that class, and I've got Jason in the YouTube comments. It's everyone's fault but Nixon's. No, look, when you blow a coverage, it is your fault. Yeah. When you fail to make a tackle, it is your fault. All I am saying is that it feels like the level of anger, frustration, hatred, whatever, is not proportional to the way he plays. It feels like it is stronger than the negatives that, to me, and again, I'm not a fan, so maybe that's part of it. But it just feels like, Gary, it just feels like more than it should be. That's all. That's my Jesse Nelson hot take.
Well, let me ask you this, because you're in the locker room more than most certainly more than me. Does it feel like that he's a nuisance inside that locker room? Because that's what a lot of other people are saying, that he's ruining the locker room. Now, from the outside looking in, I don't see that.
I don't either. Now, again, I think his teammates really like him. I think one thing people don't understand is that, and Tausch has talked about this a bunch, I know you have as well, everybody wants to get paid. Everybody in that locker room wants to get paid. And they also view it as, well, sometimes there's opportunity cost that if they pay one guy, they're not going to pay you. Like when they chose to pay Morgan Burnett instead of Micah Hyde, or when they
that.
chose to pay Cletius Hunt instead of Vonnie Holiday. Yeah, that's a oops, wrong guy. You bet on the wrong horse, right? But more often than not, there's a kind of a rising tide lifts all boats, right? Like none of them, like no player in that locker room would be pissed at Kraft if he didn't take part in 11 on 11.
No.
I know fans think it's great that he's doing it, and that's fine, but he is absorbing a risk. There's no two ways about it. And yes, he's if you want to make the argument, yes, he's under contract. He is. But that's not the world we live in, right? Jahmyr Gibbs was under contract. He didn't practice until he got his new deal. T.J. Watt several years ago was under contract. He didn't practice till he got his – heck, Jordan Love was under contract.
Same thing. Yep.
And he didn't practice a couple years ago until he got his deal. So Kraft is doing essentially what Davante Adams did, which did not get him a new deal in Green Bay, by the way. It got him the franchise tag and a ticket out of town. And I definitely do not want to relitigate that because there are all kinds of people that still blame Davante for that scenario. Jesse, what do you have on the text portion of the Carbless Talking text line?
This one's from Randy in Greendale. He texts in, I don't hate Keisean. I love him as a returner. He became our number one cornerback by default due to a poor roster-building job by Goody. So I think that's where a lot of the frustration with the fans are with Keisean. We got a number 2 cornerback or nickel forced to play the 1, and he did the best he could. Randy in Greendale texts that in.
That's way too reasonable of a take on Keisean, right? But again, my only argument is, Gary, if you don't like the fact that he's the number 1, he's not the one who elected himself. He did proclaim himself the number 1. That is fair. But the reason he's there is the way the position has been handled by someone whose job it is to stock that position.
Well, he did, but you got to give him credit. He played himself into that position, some by default, injuries to others, but most certainly he played. You can tell he got better each and every game and each and every year, and he ascended to that position. He wasn't that when they brought him in from the Raiders.
He definitely was not. Let's take one more call on this, and then we'll play some trivia. Let's talk to Alan in Milwaukee. Alan, thanks for holding on, buddy. And I'm sorry to Jen in the YouTube comments, but I thought this was a better way to get people riled up. Why do you hate Keisean Nixon?
How's it going, y'all?
Good, buddy. How are you?
I actually don't. Pretty good. I don't hate Keisean either. But this is just what makes the sports world go round. Because back in my day, it was T-Buck that the Packer fans couldn't wait to run out of town. And then in my daughter's day, who's in her 20s and driving, Jason, it was A.J. Hawk that the Packer fans couldn't wait to run out of town. And now it's Keisean Nixon. Now, T-Buck has had a Super Bowl ring, and he's gone on to have like 50 career interceptions. A.J. Hawk is the Packers' leading tackler, for whatever that's worth. And Keisean has been a Pro Bowler in 2 different positions. But yet, Packer fans, for some reason, find one player to run out of town, faster than a locomotive or whatever it is, for whatever reason.
It's a good point. And by the way, and I would argue that this guy has also brought some of it on himself, but they felt kind of the same way about Rashawn Gary, right? And there were times when Gary certainly deserved criticism for appearing not to be playing his hardest. His production was not great, right? But again, I don't mind if people criticize you based on your performance. That's part of my job. That's part of your job. That's all of our jobs that do this for a living. And fans have every right to criticize that. Again, Alan, my only point with him is it just doesn't seem it doesn't seem to correlate to his quality of play. It seems way more critical than he deserves.
Well, that as a corner, I think he's just under a microscope. If you look at a lot of corners throughout the league, they have a lot of the same plays. A lot of corners don't like to tackle. A lot of corners, tackling is something that's like, it's in you or it ain't. It ain't something that the coaches ain't teaching him. He's a grown man. If he ain't tackling by now, he's never going to tackle. So you just got to look at other stuff. You know, if he's not fast enough, he's not fast enough. If he's only going to get slower as time goes on. So it's like some stuff he's just up against. So if he's, you know, the best you got, the best you can do is just coach him up. But if you microscope everybody across the league, the other, 63 corners, you'll find a lot of the same stuff going on.
Yeah, and again, this is what we talked about earlier in the show. Like, I loved Jair Alexander as a cover guy, and he was physical. And then that play, I don't blame him. I don't blame him for playing the way he played after that injury. Because if you can't play, then you can't cover. And if you can't cover, that's what you're really paid to do. And if they're going to ask guys to tackle, this is going to happen with guys. And I'm not saying they shouldn't. I'm saying that there's got to be a trade-off, Gary. And thanks for the call, Alan. There's a trade-off. If this is what you want from your corners and you want bigger physical guys, they're probably not going to be quite as good at cover guys. Is that fair?
Correct. And that's why you got to go get what you want. And Jason, speaking of this, there's two guys I'm looking forward to watching this year that are not on the Packers. One would be Rashawn Gary, and the other one would be Quay Walker. What do those two guys do in a different system with different coaching? Would it be better? Because you never know. I mean, you talked about Stokes earlier with the Raiders, and he seemed to be playing much better. You talked about Michael Hyde leaves here and had a heck of a career in Buffalo.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the beauties of that. And look, I will be first to admit that I have been as critical of Rashawn Gary as anyone. If you have Micah Parsons on the opposite side, and LVN's going to face the same thing once Micah's back, you need to get home. You need to take advantage of the attention he draws. And second, when you lose him for the season like they did last year, you have to elevate your game. I don't think that's I try very hard when I am critical to be fair in my criticism. I've tried to be that way my entire career. Sometimes I get accused of being too soft and not being harsh enough. So be it. That's fine. But like with Rashawn Gary, I guess I was super critical of him, but I don't think either of those statements about him are unreasonable. I just don't.
Well, no, but
and I'll say the same thing about LVN.
No, you're right. And speaking of that, but most people don't understand your job, I think, or our job. You got to be willing. You got to go face those guys in the locker room. You can't just be popping off at the mouth and not speaking the facts. You know, guys don't mind if you criticize them if it's right. But you can't just go be saying stuff on the radio or TV and it's not, and you got to go face those guys. I mean, so that's why I say fans, they can say anything they want to say, blah, 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 because they don't work inside the locker room with these dudes.
And look, I don't shy away from being critical, and I got accused of all kinds of things on Twitter the last 24 hours about Keisean Nixon, some things that I don't believe that are appropriate to be saying on social media or on the radio of what activities they suggested I was engaging in. But look, if you get cooked on a play, that ends up in the story that I write, that ends up in the conversation that we have the next day about the game. I'm not going to talk about it, right? Like, I did the radio show with Rodgers for 4 years. If he threw a critical interception or didn't play well, we still talked about it. The thing was, he won 2 MVPs in the 4 years we did the show. There weren't that many games where we had boy, you really played like trash. Like there are times that you have to have but I don't want to be, I'm not going to criticize him because I got to see him in the locker room. If it's warranted, again, I asked Keisean Nixon about the play at the goal line in the playoff game against Chicago. Like, I asked him about it yesterday because that is a terrible optics moment for him. And A, I would think he'd want the opportunity to address it. And B, it's my job to ask a hard question once in a while. And that is a hard question. Believe me.
When you went back and looked at that play, did you go back and look at that play?
So the only camera angle I ever see is the one from behind, and in my opinion, it looks like Swift is going to score regardless, and instead of taking unnecessary contact, and to your point at the very beginning of the show, he is not in great position. You want to criticize him for that he's not ready to make a play before he crosses the goal line, go right ahead. Jumping out of the way after the fact, after he's already jumping, it looks to me like he's already going to cross the goal line no matter what Keisean Nixon does. That's how it looks to me. Is that how it looks to you?
That's exactly how it looks to me. And if he would have tried to have tackled that guy, that means he would have had to get down in a football position and probably would have broke his neck because he couldn't have got down fast enough.
Nevertheless, you feel how you feel about Keisean Nixon. We're going to talk about other things during the 11 o'clock hour. But first, we're going to play trivia. Jesse, what's today's category and what caller do you want?
It is a Monday, so it is the Sports Weekend Recap. Recapping an eventful, especially baseball weekend of the Sports Weekend Recap.
Do you want to take caller 25 in honor of Keisean Nixon?
Sure, what the heck. Let's do it. We got a bunch of people with us today. Caller 25.
Caller 25 right now, 844-770-3776, 844-770-3776. Caller 25 plays trivia next. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All the antics.
We had the same situation when I played with Holmgren.
You okay?
I almost broke my chair.
Yeah, you almost fell out of your chair there.
All the action.
Micah Parsons is healthy, and if Tucker Kraft is healthy, the Packers are in that Super Bowl. I think that they would have run through the NFC. I think they beat Seattle. I think that they are the NFC representative in that game.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at more than 25 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that's Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
Well, it's safe to say it's already been a rather interesting preseason for Packers cornerback Keisean Nixon. In last week's preseason opener for Green Bay against the Pittsburgh Steelers, Nixon missed a tackle on Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Jeremy Bernard up the right sideline and was heavily criticized by fans and the head coach alike. Nixon, who's been practicing with both the first and second team defense this preseason, spoke with the media on Sunday and had quite a bit to say.
I guess I'm being punished right now. I don't know. I don't really worry about when I'm running in camp, ones or twos. I just keep my process and just compete for real.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank.
Just imagine all you can do when home equity works for you. Don't put off that update. Renovate now. Use that home equity. We'll show you how. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender and MLS 433891.
Your dream kitchen or bathroom shouldn't spend years sitting on the sidelines. Mike Wood here from Callan. If you've been waiting for the right time to remodel your kitchen or finally create the spa-like bathroom you've always wanted, this is your season. Visit Callan's new design center in Delafield, conveniently located right off Highway 83 in the heart of Lake Country. Walk through inspiring displays, explore beautiful designs, and discover what's possible when your home is built around the way you live. Let's put your dream project back in the starting lineup. Start your journey today at callcallan.com and click the green button. Callan. Design, build, live.
Calling all High Life lovers, the Champaign of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champaign of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
Mark Tauscher here, and 25 years later, we still climb so they are never forgotten. Join the Green Bay Metro Fire Department and Pierce Manufacturing for the 14th annual 9/11 Memorial Stair Climb, Saturday, September 12th at Lambeau Field. Climb at your own pace while carrying the name and photo of one of the 343 fallen firefighters. It's not about how fast you climb, it's about why you climb. All funds raised benefit the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation. Register or donate at piercemfg.com/climb.
Kevin Moret here, founder of Mentality Men's Health. Remember the dad we all respected, worked all day, coached our team at night, and still had something left in the tank at bedtime? If you're now the dad who has lost a step and looks like you gave up, stop. There's a reason. One quick blood test of mentality, we can tell your total and free testosterone that could be causing all these issues. Our physicians have helped over 25,000 men get back to who they are meant to be. Start today at lowtusa.com. That's lowtusa.com.
Experience the best of fall golf at Island Resort and Casino. Enjoy late season rounds at Sweetgrass, Sage Run, or the new 9-hole Cedar course. Fall golf rates include tee time starting at just $80 and stay and play packages from $136. Cedar course preview rounds are just $45 and available to book online. Plus, now is the time to plan next year's golf getaway. Submit your 2027 golf package request today at islandresortgolf.com. You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
All right, so here's what we're going to do with trivia, as we often do with Tausch. Gary, we'll play this like Hollywood Squares. Lee in Cottage Grove will answer, and then we'll ask you if you agree or disagree with his answer.
Okay.
We'll see who turns out to be right. All right?
All right.
Let's play some trivia presented by Cousin Subs.
Wilde and Tausch Trivia is brought to you by Cousin Subs. National Sandwich Month is here. Cousins Club members earn exclusive rewards throughout August. Join now by downloading the Cousin Subs app. Cousin Subs, we believe in better.
Let's welcome in our contestant, the aforementioned Lee in Cottage Grove. Lee, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm good.
Well, hopefully you're still good after you answer all these questions right. The Sports Weekend Recap. Question number 1 is this. In his Major League debut on Saturday, Cardinals outfielder Joshua Baez became the first player in Major League Baseball history to do what in each of his first 3 plate appearances of his career? Did he hit 3 home runs? Did he walk 3 times with the bases loaded? Or did he make 3 wishes granted by Jesse the Genie?
He hit 3 home runs.
He did indeed. Sorry, Gary, I forgot to ask if you agreed or not. Nailed that.
I agree.
All right, question 2.
Well done. Genie.
There's the genie.
There it is.
That gives me nightmares.
Your wish is my command.
Oh, that's not
Your nightmare is my job.
Just rub that lamp.
Good. Hey now. Hey now.
Good. I should send that to the Notre Dame fans.
I'd like that one.
Question 2, Lee, is this. Which game did NBC feature on Sunday Night Baseball last night instead of Brewers-Dodgers? Jesse's had a bug up his you-know-what about this.
Yeah, Brewers-Dodgers should have been Sunday Night Baseball. This was ridiculous.
Agreed.
You made your position very clear, much like your position on Wisconsin-Notre Dame. Lee, was the game they showed on Sunday Night Baseball Cardinals-Cubs, Mariners-Astros, or Diamondbacks-Braves?
Mariners, Astros.
Gary, agree or disagree? I remember.
Agree.
You're both correct. 2 for 2. All right, Lee, question 3. Following play this weekend, which division features all 5 of its teams within 1 game of qualifying for the MLB postseason? Is it the American League West, the National League Central, or the American League East?
On this one, I'm not sure of. I'm going to guess the American League East.
Gary, what say you?
Disagree.
One of you is right. And it's Lee.
All right, Lee.
Jesse, break down the standings.
Okay, so the Tampa Bay Rays have the best record in the American League. They are leading the division. The Yankees are running away with the wild card. The Red Sox and the Orioles, or maybe the Blue Jays, are in the wild card behind the Yankees. And then whoever, the Orioles or the Blue Jays, whoever the other one is one game back. So they are all within one game of qualifying for the postseason. Obviously, one team will not be able to make it because of how math works. But that's by far the most competitive division when it comes to playoff races, the AL East.
Theoretically, 4 of the 5 teams in the division could qualify for the playoffs.
If the season ended right now, 4 of the 5 would qualify for the playoffs from the AL East. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and Lee, if the season ended today, you'd be the number 1 seed and the only one with cheese fry helmet chips in the helmet because you got all 3 right. That means you've got 4 entries into Friday's drawing. Thanks for playing, buddy. We appreciate you.
Thanks, Lee.
All right, thanks a lot. See you guys.
That is Wilde Tausch Trivia, presented by Cousin Subs. We have a Cousin Sub. Gary Ellerson is our Cousin Sub of the day. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. We better get to the 11 o'clock hour because Gary's got questions. That's where we'll start next. It's Wilde and Tausch.
Mark Tauscher here, and you know I love a smart play from the pocket. That's why I joined UW Credit Union. With their mobile banking app, I can make smart plays from anywhere. And with rewards checking perks like early payday, I score my money sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and make the smart play by becoming a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jen Latta. I've spent my career around athletes, coaches, and people looking for an edge. That's why I was so impressed when I visited Revival in Brookfield. From kickboxing-inspired fitness, Kaiser cutting-edge performance training, yoga, bar, Pilates, and a suite of recovery experiences that include red light therapy, infrared sauna, cold plunge, and contrast therapy, Revival is redefining fitness and wellness all under one roof. Limited Tier 1 memberships are now available while they last. Schedule a tour today at revivalbrookfield.com.
You never know when someone you care about might need a place like Curative Care. For more than a century, Curative Care has been helping children, adults, and families across southeast Wisconsin navigate developmental disabilities and find the support they need to thrive. They help families every step of the way, from early childhood through adulthood. They connect parents with resources, provide guidance through challenging times, and create a community where people truly belong. If you know someone who may be looking for answers and support for a loved one with developmental disabilities, visit curative.org. That's curative.org. Do it today.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This is Marquette basketball head coach Shaka Smart. You're listening to the home of Golden Eagle basketball, 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year, Jason Wilde.
Joining us now is the Green Bay Packers' new head coach, Matt LaFleur on Wilde and Tausch.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, and Matt Patricia. Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach not named Matt? No, I'm sorry.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All studio at ESPN Milwaukee.
Who is the most famous non-NFC North head coach named Matt? Matt Damon, Matt Ryan, somebody else.
And celebrating 10 great years on ESPN Wisconsin.
Can you repeat that question?
Sorry.
This is Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
The 11 o'clock hour of Wilde and Tausch. with Gary Ellerson, the Badgers and Packers legend, who you see every time you turn on your television if you have Spectrum One News. On the round table, Dennis Krause's the GOAT, man. Talk about people who are underrated. He's the all-timer.
Yeah.
And the other guy that you do that with, the Hall of Fame guy, Larry.
Yeah.
Roy Lee. He's okay too.
Roy Lee. Look at you.
Yeah. I know a lot. People don't realize how much I know.
Roy Lee.
I have a funny. All right, let me mull this over.
No, go ahead.
Go.
I want to hear it. That's not what it is.
Next time I see Gary.
No, you can't stop. Come on.
I think it would be best for everybody if I did. So I want to give. I don't like the phrase glazing. I don't like it.
You use it all the time. I don't.
It get used around me, and then Tausch accused me of self-glazing one day. That was really uncomfortable. But I want to say some nice things about Jesse, which I know is going to come as a surprise to some. We give him a hard time.
Especially Notre Dame fans.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. And your size 7 Crocs, which I don't even understand that joke. You do a lot of really important work for us that allows us to do the show the way we like to do it. Like, Tausch is a stream of consciousness guy. I am not in any way complaining about my job, but it can create some challenges at times where you don't know where he's going, and you got to think on your feet in my spot, okay? But it also means that we don't do, like, I know Jen, Gabe, and Chewy do a show prep meeting every day. That's not how we operate here.
Actually, I think every show does that except us. Jason?
Well, I do one show on ESPN Milwaukee for 1 hour, and that guy does not do show prep.
That's true. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, every show,
thank you.
Every
Homer,
show except for the ones Homer touches has a show prep
that
meeting.
That guy does not do show prep.
We get grandfathered in. But what is great about what Jesse does is he behind the scenes, he puts together a show sheet that if for any reason we had trouble finding something to talk about, there's a bunch of different escape hatches, basically. Like, Jesse does a phenomenal job. It allows us to not have those meetings and allow, as I always have said, let Tausch be Tausch, because he's awesome at what he does, okay? So that all said, that is all a precursor, kind of like Jesse's setup for his story for Evan, is that Jesse didn't know what to do with himself last night because Gary was sending topics to him and ideas he had for the show.
I thought that's what he asked for.
So Jesse,
it was Gary. It's just uncharted territory. We haven't gotten a lot of that in recent time. I don't know how many of the 10 years. It used to happen more frequently. It doesn't happen as frequently these days. But yeah, we actually you sent ideas for things we could talk about over in our text chat. I'm like, holy smokes, I could go golf now if I want to tonight. Like, I got plenty of time. I don't need to do all this extra preparation to get things ready for the fellas tomorrow. This was amazing. So we have questions that Gary Ellerson sent over in our show preparation, which is weird, that we can discuss. So would you like me to pose these questions? Would you like Gary to pose?
I think you should pose them to Gary because I'm sure Gary has an opinion on them.
All right. Well, let's dive right into it. It's a little bit of a heavy topic, I think, but, Gary wants to talk about it. Gary's got questions. James Pierce in the NFL got an 8-game suspension from the league for a similar situation to what Josh Jacobs has been going through this offseason. What does that mean for Josh Jacobs as we await word on his off-the-field issue from May? And is there enough with Marshawn Lloyd and Chris Brooks that the Packers would feel comfortable at running back if Josh Jacobs were to miss some time?
Let's go to the old running back first. Gary, what prompted you to ask this question, and how would you answer it before I do?
Well, that's a lot to unpack, isn't it? Well, first of all, that James Pierce,
Sure
I don't know if you
is,
go back and read the excerpts on that about what really occurred, and it felt like it was more egregious. I mean, I think he actually took his car and tried to ram it into hers on a couple of occasions, and then was not abiding by the law when they tried to arrest him. So I think there was a little scuffle there. So I don't think both of them are the same. And I don't know all what went into Josh Jacobs, but most certainly that didn't happen. So if that's going to be 8 games, I'm assuming if everything's being equal, Josh Jacobs' situation has to be much less than that. And on the other hand, it feels like the NFL this year are doing it differently, meaning that normally these things are a year away. They're getting this done before the season started. So to me, that's a bit unusual.
So I think the most important differentiator, and let's be clear here, this is not something that Josh Jacobs is going through. Like, there was a domestic incident that he was involved in. Now, the specifics of it and who did what and what was ultimately decided, we don't even know what's been ultimately decided, because the Brown County District Attorney's Office still has not decided one way or the other if there will be charges filed, and if so, what they are. Okay? So that, and I, as I've said many times on the show, the lawyers and cops that I know tell me that this is unusual, that it has gone on this long without a decision one way or the other. That is not typical. Now, I think it's important to point out, as Gary did, about James Pierce. He was arrested in February, and his ex-girlfriend, who is WNBA player Rakia Jackson. But here's the key differential here. Pierce was charged with 3 felony counts: aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, fleeing and eluding police, and resisting an officer with violence, okay? On top of that, he also faced a misdemeanor count of stalking. And here's the key difference as of right now. Josh Jacobs has not even been charged. He was charged with those 4 things, including 3 felonies, and he agreed to a 6-month pretrial intervention program in April, which would allow the charges to be dropped if he completes the conditions of the program. So, in layman's terms, because I'm not a lawyer like David Gruber is, he basically reached a plea agreement, right? And he enters this program, and if he completes the program, the charges are dropped. But he was charged. And as of right now, Josh Jacobs has not been. So, if he is charged, and let's say he enters some sort of diversionary program, I would be willing to bet he would get a suspension. The question that I have, and you and I can't answer this, Gary, is let's say the Brown County District Attorney says, upon reviewing all the evidence that we've collected over the last, whatever it's been now, 3 months, because it was Memorial Day weekend that this incident occurred, we've decided not to pursue charges against Josh Jacobs. My question then becomes, does he still get some sort of suspension? Or is the fact that he has not been charged enough to say, okay, we're not going to take any action as a league against him? I don't know the answer to that right now. I will say that the Packers certainly seem to be moving forward as if they don't expect charges, because otherwise, Gary, do you really want to rely on a guy who carried the ball 27 times all of last year in Chris Brooks, and a guy who's played in one game that counted in Marshawn Lloyd, no matter how much you like his potential? If they were legitimately worried about whether they're going to have Josh Jacobs for an extended period or be without him, don't you think they would have done something else at running back by now?
See, therein lies a rub, right? And that's why you're looking at what may come down is that the Packers haven't done anything to bring in a backup whatsoever. You would have thought when they had a chance to maybe look at Kamara, maybe that would have been a little bit too much for him. But to get a proven veteran to bring in if something was going to go down, it feels like that they feel confident that he may be around. But if he doesn't, can the Packers hold up with Lord and Brooks? And to me, the jury's out on Lord. We're not sure if he can play 17 games. I think Brooks is good at what he does. I think if you take Brooks out of that situation, do you expose him to injury or do you expose him more in what he can't do? So it feels like the Packers, in one way, do not have themselves covered if something were to happen. But I will say this, Jason, the NFL in years past, you don't really have to be charged for them to suspend you. They have done that before.
Correct. Jesse, what's Gary's next question?
Next up, Gary sent over, again in our extensive show preparation last night, can Lucas Van Ness, Brenton Cox, and Barron Sorrell get it done in the pass rush until Micah Parsons returns? Again, what a great conversation question for us to dive into. Gary, what makes you think that this is worth discussing, and what do you think of your question that you posed to us?
Well, once again, the Packers didn't bring in anybody at that spot. So they got to feel confident that it's not just those three guys. There's going to be a couple other guys in there as well. But they got to feel, to me, that's their top three guys. They've got to feel from a rotational base, those three guys can get it done. From the first preseason game that we saw, and it's just preseason, Van Ness showed up, right? He gets a sack. Cox Jr. gets a sack. Oh, by the way, Jason, did you know Cox Jr. is my cousin?
What?
Yeah. His grandmother, how this goes now, his grandmother, Vanette, is my mom's first cousin. Her dad.
Oh, is this like second cousin once removed type stuff?
Yes.
That we always struggle with
yes.
around here?
He's like my third cousin. Yes. Yeah. His dad.
Have you ever seen him at a wedding or a
barbecue,
a family reunion of any kind?
No, I have not. No, have not. But his grandmother, I know very well. She used to babysit me as a child.
Okay, that's
very
pretty cool.
well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And by the way, I feel like he is an underrated option in that group. Your cousin.
Yeah.
I think I like him as a player. Barron Sorrell got kicked out of practice yesterday for getting too close to the quarterback as well. Yeah. Or at least he got kicked out of the drill. Maybe he didn't get kicked out of practice.
Offensive line should block him a little better.
Fair. Jordan Love's gotten a lot of pressure, and Matt LaFleur does not want his quarterback in danger, and he basically, Sorrell walked Belton into Love as he was throwing. There was another play where it looked like Love's arm got hit, and that is a big-time no-no.
That's not good.
But I like Brenton Cox. Here, on the flip side of this question, Gary, is the fact that now Lucas Van Ness didn't practice yesterday. He played 3 snaps in the game. He was productive on the one. I think they actually credited that sack, and I think rightfully so when I look back on it, to Zaire Franklin. But he's there too. Like if Franklin hadn't gotten him, LVN would have. But I'll say this, and I think it was Jim in the YouTube comments or someone. If Keisean's not there, the next guy that the villagers are coming for with torches and pitchforks is LVN, right?
Oh, absolutely,
because
100%.
He's missed a fair amount of time. Yep. Is that fair to be critical of him at this point and what they've gotten from him?
Well, yeah, because I think he was a first-round pick, relatively high.
Exactly.
And look at the guys that went either behind him that are doing a little bit better than what he is. So I think his performance, he just got to be healthy. I think he's a really good football player. I think he just got to be healthy. and I think he'll show you what he's all about. And
so
once
you do
again,
like
he's
him.
been in a
like him as a player.
And now you change his position once again. I think they need to settle in on a position for him and say, this is what you do, let's go.
All right, that we will get to part 2. It's kind of like Ask Gary Anything, but it's really Gary Asks Anything.
Well, let me ask you this before we go. Do you feel like Jason? And I hate doing this comparison, but do you feel like if he was Nick Perry that you'd be happy with what he can contribute?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, I haven't thought about Nick Perry in a long time.
Yeah, of course not.
But Nick Perry has one of the most fascinating careers of a guy that I've covered, because he was a disappointment as a first-round pick. He didn't get the fifth-year option. He plays the last year of his deal, and he's got like 12 sacks. Like yes. He is the king of coming through in a contract year, and then they give him the big contract, and then he goes back to being the guy he was before. And then, and this is the crazy part, the Packers release him, and that was it. He disappeared. Like, he never went to another team. He's like him and
So
BJ
you only had
Raji.
1 year double-digit sacks?
Yeah. What? Which is one more year than Rashawn Gary had.
Wow.
But yeah, and then he just sort of he never went anywhere else, I don't think. Look, Lucas Van Ness, the old saying about he's the guy you want getting off the bus first.
He is.
That's him. Like, he is an impressive physical human being. But you nailed it. Like, I don't think he's a bad football player. First of all, I don't think many guys that come out of Iowa are bad football players. Secondly, he's got to stay healthy, though, because it doesn't matter how good of a football player you are if you don't play football. And I think that's the reality with him. All right, we will continue.
No, you're right. He had 11 sacks, and then the next year he had 7. Yeah.
And then that was it.
That was it.
Never to be heard from again. But look, again, expectations, first-round picks, that's how this works. Fair or unfair. Somebody mentioned A.J. Hawk earlier. I would argue that A.J. Hawk, the expectations came with being the 5th overall pick.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. Keisean Nixon ain't that. Keisean Nixon came into the league as an undrafted free agent. All right. I know that the folks that have listened to this, including me, have raved about it. If you are a Bucs fan, or in my case, covered this team, you are going to want to listen to the latest installment of the Behind the Bucs podcast on the Bucs Plus Audio Network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Light it up. Light it up. Light it up. Tim Thomas. Light it up. Light it up. That's my era. And it's narrated by Bucs broadcasting legend Jim Paschke. It's the oral history of the 2000-2001 Milwaukee Bucks, from their big three to a Hall of Fame coach. It's the story about a generational team that brought the city together and brought the Bradley Center to life. Find Behind the Bucs on Bucs.com/plus, the Bucs app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucs, presented by Gallagher. More with Gary Ellerson, our Cousin Sub of the day. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. It's Wilde Tausch.
This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, and sponsored by American Family Insurance. All day, every day, the Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
We're not trying to get from A to B. We're trying to get from A to SB, as in the Super Bowl.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
It's National Sandwich Month, the perfect time to celebrate what Cousin Subs does best,
great sandwiches. Since 1972, we've been making subs with fresh-baked bread, sliced meats and cheeses, and ingredients prepared fresh when you order. Whether you're craving a classic favorite, something grilled to order, or a deli fresh creation, there's a Cousin sub made for every taste. Celebrate National Sandwich Month with a sandwich made the way it should be. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And while buying a home is a big deal, it certainly doesn't have to be and shouldn't be a stressful experience. At Great Midwest Bank, we combine competitive rates, fast pre-approvals, and honest advice from knowledgeable loan officers to help you every step of the way through your home buying or building journey. For 90 years, our customers have been part of the GMB family. Experience a state of tranquility at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Paul Hansen here, founder of Iron Jock. Worried about the heat this summer? Don't sweat it. Our gear is made for real life. Iron Jock apparel combines moisture wicking with superior cooling and advanced odor-fighting silver ion technology that eliminates 99.9% of odor causing bacteria, so you are fresh for whatever's next. Our focus is simple. Make apparel that performs hard no matter where you are or what you are doing. Visit us at ironjock.com to experience the difference.
Experience the best of fall golf at Island Resort and Casino. Enjoy late season rounds at Sweetgrass, Sage Run, or the new 9-hole Cedar course. Fall golf rates include tee time starting at just $80 and stay and play packages from $136. Cedar course preview rounds are just $45 and available to book online. Plus, now is the time to plan next year's golf getaway. Submit your 2027 golf package request today at islandresortgolf.com.
This is Aaron Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited with my brother and business partner, Eric Brown. Siding Unlimited is Milwaukee's choice for siding, windows, roofing, and doors.
Siding Unlimited delivers on expectations because our experience, integrity, and craftsmanship come through on every project.
For new siding, windows, roofing, and doors, call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
Planning a high-level event shouldn't feel overwhelming. I'm Tiara Gomez, founder of Events by Design. For over 25 years, we've helped companies turn complex, high-pressure events into seamless, unforgettable experiences. When trying to engage your team and pull off something meaningful, the details matter. From concept to execution, we design every event so it reflects your vision and delivers real impact. No missed moments, just refined experiences people will remember. Let's start designing today. Search online, Events by Design.
Summer is flying by, and now is the perfect time to take a look at your home's exterior. ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta here. Peeling paint, worn trim, and small carpentry issues can quickly become larger ones once Wisconsin's weather starts to turn. That's why I chose 2-Day Painting for my own home. Beyond painting, they handle the carpentry repairs and exterior improvements to help protect my investment. Right now, you can ask about 15% off and schedule a free estimate today at 2daypainting.com. That's 2daypainting.com, and tell them Jen sent you.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 855 Pella WI, or visit online at PellaWI.com/radio.
Wilde Tausch rolls on with Gary Ellerson as our cousin sub of the day. Cousin subs, we believe in better. Gary, I don't want to forget to say this. You are welcome as a cousin sub anytime it fits your schedule. I love it when you fill in. You and I have known each other for a really long time. And yes, I did grow up on the south side of Milwaukee listening to you play in Badgers games, and I had to listen on the radio. Jim Irwin on the call. But we're really lucky to have you on our team, and I'm glad that I get you today in Tausch's absence. And I also love the fact that you came with ideas. I don't usually do that only because my ideas tend to be ignored because we end up going in a different direction. Jesse?
Yeah.
Well, no, this is great. I love it. Jesse, what else did Gary bring to us today?
So just so we're clear, that means the entire show is typically my idea, just so we're all on the same
No,
page.
it's not, though. You know that's not
You
the
don't
case.
send ideas, and Tausch doesn't send ideas.
No,
the whole thing's my idea.
Then Tausch shows up, and then there's ideas that start flowing that we weren't ready for. That's how it works.
Then it goes.
Gary asked something on Gary asked something on Twitter last night after the Brewers got a nice win on a Sunday afternoon against Tarek Skubal and the LA Dodgers. Yesterday was actually a huge Brewers game. I don't know if everybody realizes that. They won 3 of 4 in LA. It was the 7th and final game of the season series with the Dodgers, and it was tied 3-3 going into yesterday. So the winner yesterday, if the teams finish with identical records at the end of the season, and they're both division champions, the winner yesterday gets the head-to-head tiebreaker. Logan Henderson outduels Tarek Skubal on the mound. Brewers get the win 6-2. They win the season series with the Dodgers now by taking 3 of 4 in LA over the weekend. That was a huge game yesterday. It means Thursday night's comeback in the 9th was huge. Like, this was awesome and a great bounce back after things went south in San Diego earlier in the week. So Gary asked, because last year the Brewers swept the Dodgers in 6 games.
Indeed they did.
And then the Dodgers returned the favor when it mattered most in October.
Indeed they did.
So Gary asked a very simple question, which has a ton of replies on social media. What does this mean? Winning 3 of 4 against the Dodgers.
Are any of them suggesting he should host a program from a television, from a blue-roofed building with custard and saying that, I don't know who Gary Ellerson is, but I like the way he thinks?
Yeah, what does this mean?
No one is saying that.
What does it mean, Jason?
That was about me, Jason. Yeah, what does it mean, Jason?
It's a great question, and Jesse Nelson, kudos to him again. He's getting a lot of props today. I did not realize how vital that game was in terms of that tiebreaker stuff. That said, my answer to Gary's question is nothing. Doesn't mean nothing. Unfortunately, right? It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, look, I will say this. In a 7-game series, if they can set the rotation where Miz pitches in 3 of them, right? I have hope. I have hope. And you got to have hope. And then you figure out a way to win a 4th, right? I mean, people forget this because everyone thinks that it's just a Dodgers coronation. But they went to 7 with the Blue Jays last year, and in Game 7, Jesse, correct me if I'm wrong, the Blue Jays were in position, as Tausch would say, for it to be Rap City, USA.
Blue Jays choked,
and them to win the title.
Blue Jays had him multiple times in Game 7 and didn't put him away.
So, that unfortunately, it's great that they won the season series, and it's great that they beat Skubal, but in the grand scheme of things, when we get to the postseason, it don't mean much.
I was super happy.
Was that the answer you're hoping for?
Yeah, no, well, yeah, it is, because I was super happy when it ended, and they took 3 out of 4, and then I sat there for a little bit, walked outside and had a cigar, and then got depressed. Because it was just great that they did it, but now what do they do when the playoff? We've seen this before. And I don't know, I just need the Brewers to do something different. I mean, and maybe now I sound like a bad fan because we're winning. You know, it's good to go to the ballpark. You're going to get your money's worth. I mean, but you're looking for that next, and that next thing for them is World Series. Just to get into the World Series. You're not even talking about win it, but to get to it. And it just feels like that they just don't have enough. Enough meaning bats. I think they need more bats. They need a guy that can get you a home run at any time to change the game, and they just don't have that. What does it mean,
Jesse? Is that your biggest concern?
The tiebreaker thing I thought was the biggest deal that came from yesterday's game, because now the Brewers are 2.5 up on the Braves,
the tiebreaker get
and 3 up, And potentially staying out of the wild card round where it's a best 2 out of 3, which is the dumbest round of playoff sport. I can't stand the wild card round because you have one bad night, and the team that wins game 1 of that wins like 22 out of 24. So it's like,
you would agree it's better than when it was one game, right?
I preferred the one game because then all 3 division winners are rewarded the same by not having to play in it. Like, you didn't win your division, you have to play a 1 game to get in. I like that. I like that merit. When you still win your division, like the Brewers, Braves, and Dodgers are 3 of the 5 best teams in baseball this year. One of them is going to have to play in a best 2 out of 3 to stay in the playoffs to get to like the real playoffs. That sucks. So anything the Brewers can do to avoid having to play in that, like last year where they didn't have to go to that round, that is the ideal situation. So owning the head-to-head tiebreaker where in the event where the Brewers and Dodgers finish with the same record, and if they're tied for the 2nd and 3rd spots, the Brewers don't have to play in that round, that's massive to go to the NLDS and to make LA play in the best 2 out of 3. So LA is probably going to win it like they did last year because whoever the 6th seed is probably ain't going to beat them. But, I mean, right now looking at it, it could be the Cubs. It could be the Phillies. Like, those are good baseball teams that the Dodgers would have to beat 2 out of 3. And you have one bad night. You have one guy who's battling like Terang where he's just got a little thing going on where he's got to sit out for a couple of days. Like, that could be the difference between winning the World Series and not even playing in the NLDS. So I think that's massive that the Brewers won yesterday and own that tiebreaker. Does winning the season series against the Dodgers mean anything for how they'll stack up in October against them head-to-head? No, it does not. And the Brewers didn't have Terang in this series. The Dodgers, I don't think they played at full strength at any point in this series. They had different guys with scheduled days off and everything. So it's not reflective of the overall season and where everybody stands. We all know that from last year. But owning the tiebreaker is a big deal. And it was a big win.
I feel better. I feel better, Jess. Thank you. Thanks for breaking that down.
There we go. You're welcome, Gary.
How many times in the history of this show has anyone said the phrase, "Thank you, Jesse, now I feel better"?
Yeah, I feel better.
You're welcome,
we better take first place. Because if the Cubs comes back and finish in first place, that's all for naught.
That is true. Now, another development yesterday. So the Brewers finished a stretch where they played 17 games in 17 days.
Correct.
When they started this stretch, they were 5.5 up on the Cubs in the NL Central. The Cubs have been one of the hottest teams in baseball. The Brewers' offense has been anemic, has been the most popular word to describe it in the last couple of weeks. Entering play today, the Brewers are 5 up on the Cubs.
After all that.
So 2.5 weeks, 17 consecutive days with a game without a day off with a bunch of ailments. They're signing guys no one's heard of, and they're starting at second base on this West Coast road trip.
True.
And they only lost half a game in the standings against the Cubs after all that.
Wow.
That's pretty great.
That's pretty good.
That is great.
Yeah.
As if that wasn't enough, Jesse Nelson, during our Gary Ellerson question-orama, Whoa Nelly will give us more of Jesse Nelson, and he'll do it next. It's Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Mark Tauscher here, and if you know me, you know I love Wisconsin. That's why I'm a UW Credit Union member. Their team's been all about Wisconsin since 1931, and they love making banking easy for members. Whether it's with their convenient mobile app or with the great perks like early payday to get you paid sooner. Stop by any of their local branches or visit uwcu.org to join and become a UW Credit Union member like I did. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms and conditions apply.
Shopping for new windows and doors shouldn't feel like a negotiation. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin doesn't believe in games. They never inflate pricing, and there's no high-pressure sales pitch. Just premium windows and doors built for long-term comfort, beauty, and peace of mind. Buy direct through Pella, and one trusted team handles everything with Pella certified installers every step of the way. Real pricing, premium quality, no games. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Schedule your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Snap-on IndyCar weekend at the Milwaukee Mile. 2 races, 1 iconic track, twice the action. August 28th through the 30th. This is summer's fastest ticket, so get yours now and hold on tight.
Selling your home is more than putting a sign in the yard. It's about having the right team beside you. I'm Tony Wendorf with Tony Wendorf & Associates, powered by Keller Williams. We help relieve unnecessary stress with our team's expert listing process, strong negotiation skills, and fast, clear communication. Our white glove service experience is provided at every price point at every step of the way. Start your home journey today by searching online, Tony Wendorf. Tony Wendorf & Associates, a real estate team driven by faith, gratitude, and results.
Every homeowner has a list. That roof, those windows, that bathroom you've been meaning to update. If you've been putting off home improvements, you're not alone. At Exterior Pros and Baths, they help homeowners upgrade their homes with beautiful roofing, siding, windows, doors, gutters, and bathrooms built to last. Right now, save up to $3,000 on your next project. Don't wait until a small problem becomes an expensive one. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com. Exterior Pros and Baths. Done right, built to last.
Logan Fury did something smart. He saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With that money, he bought a mini treadmill. Is walking on it during video conference calls more distracting than he thought? Yes. And is that because he overestimated his foot-eye coordination? Definitely. But it's Logan's savings, and if he wants to burn calories and any chance at a promotion, we say, good for you, Logan. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Calling all High Life lovers, the Champagne of Beers is making history. They're selecting their very first mayor of the Champagne of Beers region. Share your story, throw your hat in the ring, and show us why you love High Life by visiting the Miller Brewery website. Must be 25 plus to sign up, 21 plus to enjoy. Celebrate responsibly.
You're listening to Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
The YouTube commenters are clamoring for more Jesse Nelson. And so let's give it to him. Time now for Whoa Nelly.
If the topic is good, the guys discuss.
Just the other morning I had breakfast at Tracy Rocker's house. His mama brought out 15 flapjacks. He said, Mama, take back 5 of them flapjacks. I gotta stay hungry for the Crimson Tide.
But if it's not, the show must go on. It's time for
Whoa Nelly
on Wilde Tausch.
It's interesting. I saw different comments in the YouTube comments from what I could tell. You guys know who Ed Dodds is? Ed Dodds.
I know John Dodds, big Marquette guy, big fan of our show. I'm not familiar with Ed Dodds.
Not Nate Hobbs.
I know Nate Hobbs. By the way, I saw some people saying that Keisean Nixon had Nate Hobbs run interference for him after the playoff loss. That was not. Now, Keisean could have said, no, I can handle this, and told Nate to buzz off. But that was Nate Hobbs doing that as Nate Hobbs. That was not at Keisean's request. But it was really irritating, as you well know. I was very pissed off about that the next day. Ed Dodds.
Ed Dodds is the assistant general manager of the Indianapolis Colts. Why does he matter, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. Ed Dodds was meeting with media members in Indianapolis on Sunday and said that Anthony Richardson, former first-round pick by the Colts, starting quarterback until he was benched last year in place of Daniel Jones, and then was hurt all year, and they brought... I can't believe the Phillip Rivers thing happened. Remember when that happened last year?
Yeah.
Came out of retirement like 5 years later to play for the Colts. I forgot that even happened last year.
It's true.
So Anthony Richardson is still in Indianapolis. He had asked for a trade, and I thought, that's it. I forgot he was still on the Colts. I thought maybe he was somewhere else. Tausch was an advocate that the Packers should bring Anthony Richardson and be the backup quarterback in Green Bay behind Jordan Love. Ed Dodds said that the Colts will prioritize quarterback depth and that Richardson will remain in Indianapolis for the foreseeable future.
Oh, well, that's nice.
I ask this for relevance because I am currently on the clock for a fantasy dynasty football league.
No.
And so I'm wondering if it's worth drafting Anthony Richardson with a late round pick so that I can have him as a potential starting quarterback in the not too distant future, or if you think his career will not mount to much in Indianapolis or elsewhere.
Gary?
Yeah, I pass on that one, buddy. He's not going to help you.
What?
I mean, you might want to play the roller coaster.
What kind of a question is that?
I played the roller coaster with Pence and who's over there? Pence and who's the other quarterback from Miami? Went to Atlanta.
Tua. Tua Tagovailoa.
Tua.
Yeah.
I played the Pence Tua rotation if that's what you want to do.
Okay. Well,
No.
That's good advice. Better than
a little late for that.
Why would you?
Little late.
Wait, you draft a guy that's not going to play unless somebody gets hurt.
It's a dynasty league, so we do
but
this
don't you want to
draft.
draft people that you want to keep because they're good
Right.
already?
Or like I have a couple of older guys, so they're like, I got a couple of older quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford is on the squad, so he's got a year, maybe one more
You're
left.
replace Matthew Stafford with Anthony Richardson?
If it works out longer term, if Richardson's a pretty young guy, like he might get another start somewhere else. Yet, that's why I'm asking. Do you think this is going to work out for him somewhere long term, or do you think he's going to be Malik Willis? Or actually, I'd want him to be Malik Willis. Who do I think he's going to be? Jacoby Brissett, where he's a constant mover and a backup, but he's never really going to be the guy anywhere.
He's the guy this year for the Cardinals.
Well, I took him too in a pick a couple of rounds ago. I actually
thank God you're not in charge of our fantasy team for the ESPN Wisconsin Fantasy Football League.
Dynasty League is a different philosophy, Jason. You wouldn't know this. You don't do the fantasy football. Dynasty, you got to draft younger guys that are going to play themselves into starting roles long term. You're not doing this every year, so you got to find some value with these late round picks, and I was wondering if Anthony Richardson could pose some value instead of taking, like, Justin Fields is another one. Do I take him and think that he's going to start somewhere eventually, or is that going to just be nothing and he's done?
Are all of the current 32 theoretical starters, are they all off the board?
Yes.
So there are no
backups.
How many people are in this league?
There's 10, and there's like 20 rounds of it. There's a bunch of guys on this league is kind of frustrating because there's also no clock on the draft round, but then everyone gets mad at you if you don't draft like immediately, and the group chat's like, oh, Jesse's on the show. It's going to be another 5 hours before he takes his pick. Like, yeah, that's why we don't have a clock on it. Like, what is the point of not having a clock if everyone's just going to be upset about not getting it done right away? Very frustrating.
So you're telling me that of all the quarterbacks that are currently employed in the NFL, your idea, it's kind of like that scene with Morgan Freeman and the guy that's going to blackmail Batman. So you think your boss is a vigilante, and you think your best idea is to blackmail this person? Good luck. This is a terrible idea. I can't believe you even considered it.
So did you take Richardson or no? Did you take Richardson or no?
No, I'm going to take Josh Wiley. It was him or Josh Wiley I was going to take. I thought, well, maybe
who is
some
Josh
goal line
Wiley?
situation if I Oh my God, Gary!
He's the number 2 tight end right
in
now.
Green Bay right now.
Right, but you're talking about quarterbacks. Suddenly, you spring a tight end on him.
This is the kind of situation we're in here.
Josh Wilde may throw more passes this season than Anthony Richardson if they run a trick play.
This guy.
All right,
Josh
Wilde. I'm going to put us out of our misery here. This has been the Anthony Richardson portion of the program. We will wrap things up with Gary Ellerson, our cousin sub of the day, who I would rather draft Gary Ellerson than Anthony Richardson to my fantasy team.
Thank you.
Wilde Tausch.
Wilde and Tausch continues next on 94.5 ESPN, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and sponsored by American Family Insurance.
ESPN Wisconsin celebrates Wilde and Tausch's 10-year anniversary, presented by Steinhoffels.
Our very first guest, Aaron Rodgers. Give us an over-under on what number would you set for how many shows we do together?
Daily, 52 weeks in a year. I'm going to say you do about 230.
Wilde and Tausch's 10th anniversary is also brought to you by Sendix, by Outdoor Living Unlimited, by Gruber Law Offices, by UW Credit Union, and by Events by Design.
When you promise them a breakfast casserole but are out of eggs, and your kids just use the last roll of toilet paper to dress the dog up like a mummy, get it faster with Hy-Vee. Order online with Hy-Vee and get groceries in as fast as 30 minutes. That's right, groceries in as fast as 30 minutes. When you need groceries fast, get it faster with Hy-Vee in as fast as 30 minutes. Because when it's a priority to you, it's a priority for Hy-Vee. Some restrictions apply.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the new Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, get early access to our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe for a limited time. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back with up to 12 hours of back pain relief. With just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sunup to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Pickleball is America's fastest growing sport, and those courts aren't going to build themselves. Good thing PLM Paving and Concrete has been building courts long before pickleball was cool. For 60 years, PLM has been Wisconsin's trusted paving partner. Did you know for the last 15 years they've been building tennis, basketball, and pickleball courts too? Now that expertise has an official name, America's Sports Construction. Thinking about adding or resurfacing a court or have any pavement maintenance needs? Don't wait. Wisconsin's construction season is running out. Visit plmpaving.com/sports.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Jen Latta. I've spent my career around athletes, coaches, and people looking for an edge. That's why I was so impressed when I visited Revival in Brookfield. From kickboxing-inspired fitness, Kaiser cutting-edge performance training, yoga, bar, Pilates, and a suite of recovery experiences that include red light therapy, infrared sauna, cold plunge, and contrast therapy, Revival is redefining fitness and wellness all under one roof. Limited Tier 1 memberships are now available while they last. Schedule a tour today at revivalbrookfield.com.
At Associated Bank, we thought about speaking like other banks with hoity-toity names like Total Privilege Pay or something. But we don't speak bankish, we speak your language. When we say 2-day early pay, we mean you get paid 2 days early. $50 overdraft grace zone? That's a grace zone of up to $50 if overdrafts happen. And maintenance fee-free account? Well, that speaks for itself. At Associated Bank, we get you. That's why we've got you. Learn more at associatedbank.com/YouGotThis. Member FDIC.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. This is Wilde Tausch on 94.5 ESPN. Sponsored by American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
We're out of time. I already said how great it was to have Gary here as our cousin sub of the day. So, Gary, you get the last word. Make it meaningful.
My last word? You know, Homer does this always the last word thing. I never have a last word. Just bring me back whenever you need me. That will be my last word.
Yeah!
Don't let this be my last show.
That's my kind of last word.
Yeah, that's my last word. Don't let this be my last show.
All right. You've got it. That's it for us today. Thanks to Gary. Thanks to Evan Cohen. And thanks to you for coming along for the ride with us. Have a great day. Take care. Be good.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family